hold and protect something that you ain't doing. It's straight violations going on. When I wake up this morning and I study, but wait, man. This young man who was on the TikTok recently, Aquino, Akuno, Purcell, who they locked up and murdered in this MSP. What really going on? When you go back and I look at the young man's video, some of his videos, he was a little, he went out a little bit, going to the Red House and whatever the case may be, but, he was seeking on a level and, but still, does that give you the authority to lock up someone and murder them? And are we a nation now that just sits back when folks rise up against oppression and allow the corporation to murder them? Is that what we have become now? I have to ask these questions this morning because it's very confusing. It's very confusing to see we are not receiving anything from our stocks, from our bonds, and majority from our securities. Because every time you sign your name on a paper calling an application, whether it be for a job, whether it be for a loan, whether it be for anything, you just created a security. And you could go look it up. Nation, don't take my word for it. Go fact check everything that I'm saying. So all you could raise up and be on the same level, on the same page, and we could move forward. Because it's really stressful going forward on a daily basis, and yet still you don't understand where you're really going because it's so convincing just to think, to live, to move, to operate. So once again, we aren't able to securitize our securities at the central bank, meaning your light bill, your water bill. You're supposed to be able to walk into Republic Bank, to Royal Bank, to Nova Scotia, and hand them your supposedly security, which is your statement, stamped in a certain way, endorsed in a certain way. You understand? And they are now supposed to, that amount on that statement is supposed to be doubled. That's what securitization is.
All right, but look, Hayden Joseph is saying, caller, what do you do for a living? Or how do you make money? Because, we just can't walk to the bank and we say that ain't going to happen. We got to work for the money. Jump high, jump low. We're talking is about how it, I want to believe, how it's supposed to be.
How it's supposed to be.
But it's how it's not.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. Well, I'm a U.S. Army veteran. Right? I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I'm a farmer in Trinidad and Tobago, and all I do is study law. Commercial law, ecclesiastes law, trust law. I also have my trust set up, so I'm a living man again. Right? I don't own anything. My trust owns everything. If that makes sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Long report.
Yes,
Mr. Andy, have a good day. And hopefully people and them rise up and understand that these unconstitutional movements under Chapter 76(1), under Chapter 35 for the President, and the Living Act, the Life Act or the Living Act of Trinidad and Tobago, Chapter 22(1). Pull it up and have a read. And let we understand what really taking place, and let we understand how the governance is supposed to be governing Trinidad and Tobago. Have a great day, Mr. Andy. Everyone else.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith. The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
I'm going to just take this call before I say morning because we missed Lennox yesterday morning, caller.
Morning, Professor Andy, Mickie, and Assistant Professor Lennox. They go Martin inside the house. And I have a burning question to throw out. KCR is now apparently an ordinary minister, right? He's a backbencher. He was planning to get a nice big fat salary and a pension before he go. He has gone to the backbench, so as an ordinary citizen with a small pension, I want to know what salary he is currently getting based on his new portfolio, a backbencher. I don't expect him to get a prime minister's salary because he's no longer a prime minister. And I believe in the public service, your pension is based on, I believe, an average of your last 6 months in office. So he last 6 months in office could be a smaller salary. So I'm throwing out that outside there for the gurus to tell me what pension he will be getting, what salary he getting. So we, as the ordinary citizen, could understand how selfish a person we have. And I want to congratulate our new vulgar stinkmouth Prime Minister. Have a nice day. Good morning.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Lennox Smith, a pleasant good morning to you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Are you hearing me loud and clear, my friend?
Loud and clear.
Yes, indeed. A pleasant good morning to you as well, my friend. Of course, and a pleasant good morning to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, or President Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. Yes, I too missed your presence, of course, yesterday, and the interaction that we normally engage in. Well, of course, I enjoyed, of course, what transpired just moments ago. It seemed to be packed with both entertainment as well as, of course, some, what would I consider to be philosophical, or should I say, I don't want to say pie in the sky, but certainly, as you have realistically put it, some impracticality that, of course, is being issued. And of course, it's good for academic reasons to say that there's another side. But of course, in terms of reality, we have to be pragmatic. The reality is that, of course, Trinidad and Tobago has appointed a new prime minister. And of course, the president herself, of course, issued justification for so doing. And I would like, of course, take a moment or so to, of course, concur or express my discombobulation, my confusion with respect, of course, to the emoluments that back to the office of parliamentary representative, one, and of course is a backbencher, so to speak. So what would be the salary that he now will have to collect? Is it that he will be collecting both the pension as well as MP's salary? Those are issues that must be, of course, cleared up in the present circumstance. And is it, of course, ultimately a case of course, the higher one will suffice as opposed to the lesser one, which, of course, will be a MP salary? I would like the experts, of course, to treat those who are in labor, those who are experts, of course, in the extrapolation of issues such as this. And maybe that was not contemplated when the decision was made for him to make his exit as a prime minister in the way that it occurred. Let me, of course, look at the president's position. I have not heard that aspect of it during the pre-debate as far as whether or not the constitutional legitimacy of Stuart Young, or that Chinese man, as being, of course, becoming prime minister in the face of resignation of the then, should I say, titular prime minister, or the the substantive prime minister. So let me get into that. The president saw it fit to issue an explanation, which I thought was good. But of course, I know that it was as a consequence of the concerns of the leader of the opposition, and of course, soon to be prime minister, clearly, and of course, head of going into the next elections. The leader of the UNC, and of course, coalition of interests, a united coalition of interests. I think that was expertly and regularly referred to by her last night in the constituency of La Hokata Talparu. But let me get straight to the explanation of the president. The president talks about, of course, Section 75 of the Constitution, which contemplates that there must be, of course, a prime minister. So therefore, in that regard, she looked at that, and of course, in the process, there must be, of course, an anointment, if you want to call that, or the institutionalization of a attorney general. So both of that was done on the morning of yesterday, the 17th of March. Both of that was done in the morning, and in the evening time, of course, the swearing in of the new prime minister's cabinet. So that is one aspect of it. So there must be a prime minister. So as far as she's concerned, Section 75 does that. Section 124 of the Constitution, of course, as she says in her statement, requires or provides provisions for the resignation of a prime minister. So, and of course, she indicated that Dr. Rowley's resignation came, I believe, it would have been after the other members of the parliament who are in the majority under the PNM, of course, of having won the elections. Of course, we would always say questionably in 2020. They wrote their support for Young, and Young, of course, wrote his acceptance of the support before Rowley's letter to the president, indicating that it could be not more than 4 or 5 days in between. But clearly, that's by itself speaks a story. Rowley was waiting to make sure that they commit themselves before, of course, he commit himself to resignation. That is what that tells me. But that is not the important thing. The important thing is that was accomplished under Section 76. One of the Constitution, where of course it states that if the majority of persons in the parliament to support a particular individual in the elected parliament, meaning that in the lower house, then of course that person would be the president has no choice but to appoint a prime minister, that person as prime minister. So that too has been met according to the president. And but what is more significant for me is the fact that the entire exercise yesterday looked like and sounded like the swearing of a prime minister after an election. Well, I would like to focus and to tell the population and the world that this prime minister, whether legitimate or not, and whether, of course, it will be questioned or tested in the courts of this country, he only has a maximum of 9 months. So he's a prime minister for only 9 months. An election must be held, and therefore there is where we should be focusing. In terms of the appointments of the various elements, of course, according to the president, consistent with, of course, there must be a prime minister. Well, of course, it made a arrangement for the swearing of attorney general at the same time. Well, of course, Camille Robinson Regis was appointed as the attorney general. Of course, one can see that the built into that whole exercise was the ephemeral or temporary nature of it, because nobody in their right mind will contemplate after an election to see or to appoint Camille Robinson Regis as an attorney general. So we know that is just to tidy over the time, the short time that, of course, they will be in office before the calling of an election. Of course, it behoves on Young now to call the elections, and now that the president has indicated her justification for the action that would have been taken yesterday. But once again, I thought it was ludicrous. I thought it was a joke that, of course, Camille Robinson Regis had been appointed Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. No way in a full term after an election that such an individual would be. I understand from the leader of the opposition that she doesn't have, of course, a legal certificate either, so that she. So we look at that. Let her, of course, respond to that, or those who would have appointed her respond to that, because one would have expected that due diligence would have taken place for at least, while it is not a requirement constitutionally, but certainly somebody who has to advise the government, the cabinet of the country on matters of law. One would have expected at least they would have been some reputable legal person who would have been in practice for some time for that position to be handed to them. So that to me is a brewing, of course, a faux pas. I want to see how she would handle herself in terms of whatever bills. I don't know if they are satisfied that sufficient bills, or put another way, the government has exhausted, of course, its legal representation, or bringing laws to the parliament to the degree that they could, of course, put to what essentially is a non-lawyer to, of course, let's say, lead in terms of debates relating, of course, to any law that may be considered by the now young administration, and of course, and I'm saying that reservedly. So I have very, very little faith. Of course, I saw, and we have to be realistic, I saw that the various chambers and others are, of course, commenting that they are very optimistic in some instances. But of course, I sense below that it was more sarcasm than anything else. Of course, they too have the right to refute what I am saying, but I got that impression, because when you use words like I expect, and that, of course, they will do more, and then the Minister of Finance, who was also, of course, inaugurated yesterday, the new Minister of Finance is saying that there will be no austerity. I would have wanted to add to that a suffix, meaning that no austerity anymore, or any more, put a prefix, any more austerity, because of course we had nothing but austerity for the last 10 years by this government. And I understand that he was a former, of course, permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance, and I understand that he would have been having such a position before being appointed or assigned to as the ambassador, I believe, to one of the metropolitan countries. It means, therefore, if he was in the time of the former Minister of Finance, talking about, of course, Imsbert, one would have assumed that he would have been part and parcel of the charade and the jocular and, of course, ludicrous statements by the, well, put another way, that gave rise to the ludicrous statements of Imbert. For example, before COVID, he told us, of course, the country was doing well, that, of course, you can see clearly now the rain is gone, and of course, the economy, the most infamous one, the economy has turned around, only, of course, to impose pressure, more taxes, and, of course, reduce subsidies that would have, of course, make life, talking about the cost of living, the standard and the quality of life, even more difficult and dangerous for typical and the average Trinbagonian. So you're
very optimistic, very optimistic, as you say, as the chamber, as everyone else.
In conclusion, it was a charade. The fact of the matter is that this Prime Minister, whether legal or not, only have 9 months, and we must, of course, be laser focused now to know that no way the PNM can come back, and I still focus even more now on the 39 seats in Trinidad for the UNC coalition of interests, and of course the 2 seats in Tobago not going to the PNM.
Nice.
Yes,
What
my
you have
friend.
any headliners to us other than, yes, the new Prime
Yes, indeed.
Minister
But of course,
or
quite
so, but it
apart from
must
that,
have
very,
some things
very
there,
interesting.
man.
I listened to part of the program yesterday, so I can tell you, you know, a lot of work over the weekend, because of course we had the cutting of ribbon for hoax, just as of course was the case with that central block. So in other words, is either you could use the term empty hospital, or a hospital frame that was open, and then of course in Tobago you have another exercise such as that. But however, Rowley got his name on a plaque. As I said before we departed on Friday, I would like to see what the plaque says, because I would not be surprised if it said the opening of the hospital or the opening of the airport, when in fact that was not so. They have developed a new terminology for that, kind of what I consider to be half-pick dock. Half-pick, I think, might be an understatement. A shell that, of course, they consider to be a hospital on the one hand, and, of course, a airport terminal on the other hand. Disrespect totally to Robinson, and, of course, an embarrassment and, of course, disappointment for patients who are waiting on surgery and other basic medical services at the Port of Spain General Hospital and in the country generally. Let's go straight, of course, to other matters. Well, community saddened by a woman's kidnapping. So kidnapping can continue immediately with the swearing in. And of course, I think it was 4 murders yesterday. Whilst, of course, this new prime minister was being sworn in. I think the toll has moved up to the 90s now. Of course, let's face it, in the sphere or in the presence of an SOE. Kamala, democracy lost with Young's appointment, certainly, because one would have expected, and maybe that was part of what I consider to be the camouflage of the PNM, to make us believe that somehow election done and a prime minister is being sworn in. Why? And why Dr. Rowley saw it fitter to leave at this point, we are still to find out why, because I do not think that what we see, what he has told us, is what in fact is the case. What I know for sure, it has something to do with Trump in and Rowley gone. WASA condemns, of course, indiscriminate discharge into the Guanapo River. Well, of course, that is in connection with unscrupulous quarrying enterprise that is now discharging, of course, creating silt in the water supply, going to whatever reservoir or facility of WASA. And therefore, of course, they are saying that that is not permissible or not to be, and they will take action. Business leaders, as I was saying earlier, I hinted there too. Business leaders optimistic about cabinet changes. Well, of course, I disagree with the optimism of the business community. But I suppose they're saying that to see if they could get more foreign exchange or forex from this prime minister. I want to tell them that there's nothing of the sort. It's only 9 months maximum he has. Kamala Young's cabinet a joke. Well, of course it is. Somebody was telling me yesterday that, of course, it's a good political stroke by the PNM. New faces. I say no, my friend. You are wrong on 2 fronts. One, the team comprising, of course, of majority old familiar faces for the next election has already been selected by the PNM. So that's one way you are wrong. And of course, Young had to be mad. He can't take the devil out of his thoughts, because of course it's a devilish group. Mad to appoint any new face at all. What he has to do is, of course, to shuffle or reshuffle his cabinet among those that are familiar, including, of course, the Minister of Finance. That is not a new face. It's just that he was hidden elsewhere and now has come to the fore. So that's the fact. Otherwise, he will have a coup. He will have a coup on his hand one time if he only, of course, try to dismiss all of the old and bring in a new group of individuals. He could only do that, of course, in a situation where the PNM would have been victorious at any future elections, and he is at the helm. Of course, in addition to the fact that there must be, of course, some unanimity as far as his leadership in the party called the PNM is concerned, and that is something that is being contemplated in September, and which, of course, has been retained by the outgoing Prime Minister. So let us not waste our time with pie in the sky talk. The fact of the matter is that the die has been cast, and of course we are seeing that now. Now is the first day of work, so to speak, of the new Stuart Young led administration. A government to wait and see if opposition's legal threat materializes. Well, of course, before this. What I consider to be this exercise, and I will classify it too as undemocratic from the point of view that when the PNM went into office, nothing is wrong with Rowley to say he's sick or he died or anything like that, but yet still, of course, he just passed on the baton to another member of the team who obviously, or albeit though elected, but the population, and I'm sure that especially the rank and file and the sympathizers of the PNM never contemplated that another prime minister will replace Rowley in such circumstance as we saw yesterday. So from that perspective, I agree that it is of course a joke and a possible coup, and of course I like the overture made by the leader of the opposition, and of course leading into the next elections, the coalition of interest, when she invited, of course, all PNM who are serious about advancing Trinidad and Tobago, and of course, and to get away from the shenanigans and the jocular and of course what I consider to be incompetence of the PNM leadership and in and out of government, to of course join the UNC. She says, of course, that the doors are open, and of course the UNC has many mansions, and of course, and where they can, of course, be rest assured that they will be well taken care of, because when the UNC wins, everybody wins, all of Trinidad and Tobago. Government to wait, yes, and see that, yes. Cabinet reshuffle, PM Young selects a new cabinet. Well, we have said that we will, of course, be able to get from the population, the callers and so on, their own views. I'm sure that they too are very, very, very astute, very sagacious, and of course eruditic in terms of their focus on the interests and the matters that are unfolding in Trinidad and Tobago. Defense Force member charged with, of course, Pleasantville woman's murder. That is another unfortunate situation, particularly when it involves Defense Force personnel. Stuart Young's Debate family, he has the ability to lead the country. Well, of course, if he was my family, I would have said the same thing. Whether or not that is borne out by what he has done so far, I say that he continues to be, in my view, a neophyte. Mean that are wet behind the ears in individual who, of course, have not, of course, served his time or the appropriate apprenticeship period to be even considered. In fact, I don't believe he should even get, of course, silk or senior counsel, because at the time I see that he's saying something different now in his inaugural speech at the reception of the instrument of Prime Minister yesterday at President's house. But of course, he was saying something different, and he gave, of course, a history or a biography of himself. But when he got to the SC position, he did indicate that his best performance was whilst he was in government. So it showed that he really did nothing significant. And in fact, we cannot be fooled. We never knew of Stuart Young before, of course, Rowley brought him into the government, and he himself, of course, as a typical opportunist, of course, attached his wagon, so to speak, and his career or his future onto, of course, a PNM administration led by Rowley. And of course, what is happening here is that he now has unmerited rewards. Kamala Young's cabinet a joke. So those are some of the issues that I would want to, of course, address at this point in time. Of course, we open up the lines as per usual, so that, of course, you can have your say at this point in time. I don't know, Andy, if you would like me to say or add, or you have any questions or any comment to make in based on what I have said. And so, therefore, those are the areas that I would love to address. I have contemplated, and of course, I believe, adequately addressed at this point in time in the short space of time that I would have had so to do. Quite a lot of material indeed. And once again, of course, my apology to all and sundry for not being here yesterday, but like everything else, under the weather, and therefore I had to, of course, take a little rest, so to speak. But I'm now back up and running. Of course, I did have last night the corridor transformation, but of course we carried the live the address of the political leader, in particular of the UNC and head of the coalition of interests arrangement that will go into the next elections to get and to conquer Trinidad, and Trinidad, at least in terms of the 39 seats. I don't expect the PNM to get any at all. And once again, of course, I like the idea that the political leader is inviting, of course, a PNM, who the PNMites, whether you are part of the rank and file, whether you are apologists, whatever. I saw, of course, in consistent with that move, that, of course, Professor Selwyn was there. Selwyn is his name? No, Professor. I'll get it in a while. But he was there, a stalwart of the PNM at one point in time, clearly, and he made a statement when he was invited to the crime symposium when it reached Laventille, in fact, in Mova, at the Missouri Community Center. He did made a very profound statement. He said that he loved his country. No, he loved his party, he loved his leader, but he loved his country more, and therefore ever since he have been seen regularly in the audience of the UNC, and especially when, of course, the Prime Minister to be Kamala Prasad Bisesa, when she would have had her meetings, and on this occasion it was held in the constituency of La Hokata Tal Paru, and yes, Selwyn Kojo, yes, that's the man. Selwyn Kojo was there. And of course, he greeted her with a hug as well. So demonstrating how welcome he was or is, and at the same time making it clear to all and sundry where he has let down his bucket. Not that he's a member of the UNC, but that he loves his country more, and he realizes that, of course, just as the PSA president, that, of course, who said in no uncertain terms that the first task that they have as a union, as a representative of workers, to unseat the PNM. I say PNM here because I want to make I want to make the distinction between, of course, Rowley and the Young. The fact is the PNM, and once you get rid of the PNM, well, then you get rid of Rowley, Young, and what I consider to be machinations that term contemplates. Of course, my position has always been the PNM has morphed or metamorphosized into a criminal enterprise. It's clear, and of course, my major and most potent evidence of that is the Balize House and the blood money that would have been used to, of course, construct that what I consider to be contemptuous edifice. I mean, it is appalling, it is abominable, and must not be contemplated or considered by the population on that basis alone. Yes, Andy, you were saying something?
Yeah, saying the line's open.
Oh, yes, indeed, of course. The lines are open, people, of course, and Andy will give you the numbers to call. As I said, I missed you as well, but I thought I should, of course, make an intervention here at this point in time. I want to say the biggest political stroke, really, is that of the PSA's leadership announcement that the first task is to get rid of Rowley, Young, the Chinaman, and PNM. And mind you, they are supposed to be representing the employer. I'm talking about Rowley, Young, the Chinaman, and the PNM, supposed to be the employer. And here it is, the employees are saying they want to get rid of them. The first task is to get rid of them. Consistent, of course, with the OWTU and other members of the coalition of interest. Of course, in the case of Laventille Outreach for Vertical Enrichment, which I am the leader of, well, of course, we are looking at the Laventilles, and I am saying that it's about time Laventille understand that they have been betrayed and, of course, disappointed too often not to consider emancipation of themselves from the PNM. They have nothing to offer. They have not offered anything except, of course, betrayal. And, of course, the PNM, in spite of all of that, owes Laventille. I say so because it is Laventille that kept them alive after the 1986 general elections. Let's not waste time with that. And in return for that loyalty and that commitment, they have, of course, betrayed us. And therefore, it's about time that we disembark on that venture and get of course, on board. You will hear you'll hear much more about what Love has already done, not that we're going to do, what has already been done. And of course, in the manifesto of the coalition of interests, you will also see a section, as we did in 2007, albeit, of course, you didn't know or you weren't aware because it wasn't promoted as the case now. But now that we have gotten a new lease on life and, of course, have an opportunity to further examine and draw the conclusion about the PNM that they are no good, they are toxic, they are evil, they are wicked, and they pose the existential threat to our economy and our civilization that we need, without fear of contradiction, to, of course, get on board and make certain that we act in our own best interests.
Go ahead, caller.
If you have a call, go ahead.
Good morning, ground report, fellas.
Good morning.
Lennox, Mikey, Tunapuna here. Well, Lennox, I always keep telling you, you have some real work to do, eh? You have ground to start, hit the road running.
I've never doubted that. It has not been ventured because it is easy, because we know it is difficult. So let's rest that there and let's move on.
No, why I'm saying this, Lennox, is because last night in the meeting, the UNC meeting in Talparo, it was mentioned that they have as much as 100 people from the MOVA area. So therefore, they have triggered their own initiative and say that, to show that the interest is there. So
that's right.
From there, you have to carry the torch from there onward, So I think now that more than ever, you need to call the people. I just say, you have everything in train already, but more than ever, we need to have a mass meeting in the area of Laventille, Mova, Sealot, and these areas there, that I had stronghold of the PNM. So, you could put up some fear into them to let them see, well, hey, the people, they are damn serious and they're taking this nonsense anymore. So that's one thing. Secondly, could you imagine this? You replace Attorney General, a liar, with a thief in Camille Robinson, Reggie? I mean, you let me be real.
That's ludicrous.
You could look at his appointment. You put Marva Gonzalez as what? Minister of what's the position again? National Security.
National Security, yes.
Yeah, in national security. I mean, look at this, the kind. We having this crime situation, a crime surge. We are being blacklisted throughout the world. Sanctions imposed on us, restrictions in terms of travel and what have you and things. And these are the people that we put in there who don't have a damn clue what the hell to do in this country. Huh? And then again, you see, why I find it very strange. Keith Rowley has been boasting more about Coleman, but as the Minister of Finance, who has resurrected this country and built back the economy and this and that and whatnot. And the man who he anointed removed Coleman but as Minister of Finance. And they have the loan, the stooge, who they put now as the Minister of Finance, who was in England. That's the man who they put in charge now, who had the responsibility of doing the whole thing of selling of the Point of View refinery. I can't remember his name, Indian fella. And he was in England, Dan Paul. And all the time, Dan Paul was in England, and all these things taking place there with visa and whatnot and things. What have they done? What has he done? What has he done to remedy that? We never hear utter a word about it or anything like that. But you put him as the finance minister. I mean, we have to be really jokey, you know, Mikey, and Andy and Lennox. This is what we think, because why I'm saying this, I have in front of me an article on Sunday's Express, page 15, by Ralph Maraj. And this is what the article says. Will this darkness continue by the new appointment of Stuart Young? And you could see it off the bat, because the very first thing that he did was this, and Dr. Munira said, this is illegal to some extent, because it's not to say that you win an election. They just give you a temporary post there 10 days as Prime Minister, waiting until we don't know if the opposition will be challenging it in the court, or until when the general election is called, and you being removed. And you went about making this grand shuffle and putting people who just thought was incompetent when they were there with Keith Rowley, and putting them in this position, like Camille Robinson, Reggie's Attorney General, Gonzalez as Minister of National Security. Well, I could see Colin, but just like what they do Al-Rawi, demoting. Eventually, and then not only that, if you demote he is now still, I wonder if he still had a goal to want to go up as a candidate for Diego Martin, even though he has been demoted. It just goes to show you that this country, we in for a real rough ride, because Stuart Young, I know what the hell he's doing, and he's a novice, he's incompetent, because all the ministry, look at these issues that face us with these divers and all these things, the Nikon issue and all these things, the whole energy sector and Point Lisa's chamber, everything is heading for closure under his jurisdiction as the minister then. And then you're the Prime Minister, you're the Minister of Energy, and there's also a minister, I think, in the Prime Minister's office. I wonder, Mikey, if all these portfolios that you have, if you're getting independent salaries for them. Could you comment on that, fellas?
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Tunapuna. Nice. All of you was trying to get on there. That was busy day trying to hook up the phone so you could organize and all the WhatsApp calls and things. Yeah, so let me get through now. Let me make sure. Let me see. Yes. Come. I hope you're getting through.
But to say that, of course, Imbert was demoted. No, that is part of his strategy to take him out of the limelight, not to of course, focus on investigating him for the missing, of course, a $3 and then, of course, $2-point-something billion. Understand that. That has nothing to do with anything else. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Andy. Felix here.
Good morning.
Yeah, I was missing an action for a little while there, but after hearing what took place yesterday and what's going on with our new government, but one thing I want to find out is Stuart Young going to move in this?
Wait, Felix. What going on with the new government? No. Just what going on with we 10 days prime minister. You can't they no new government. This is the same government.
They try to create the illusion so that is a new government. You know that is so. I'm sure that he's using that term sarcastically because I mean it is.
I get frightened when he said the new government.
It is not contemplated that could be real. That is an illusion. But go ahead, my friend.
All right, Lennox, you know where I was going. All right, thanks.
Yes.
What I want to know is this man going to move in our prime minister residence?
Very good question. Whether or not he's going to move in and Rowley will move out now that he is a backbencher. and we will know in due course because I don't expect Rowley to move out. Young will say, give him some time and 6 months will pass and then of course then you will see him move out. So the entire thing is a charade, really, an illusion. Trying to fool the people.
Yeah, Raleigh have a lot of options because he could go in Inez Gate, he could go down in Westmoreland, he have real options.
Yes.
But one of the main options is when he get the golden bracelet or the silver bracelet.
Silver bracelet, that's right. No golden for him, silver bracelet, and of course, blue lights.
And blue lights.
Yes.
Yeah, Andy, I was not wrong, but I went on a serious operation, but thank God I'm pulling through.
We wish you, of course, speedy recovery, my friend. And, of course, I know that you are one of those stalwarts. And we collectively and individually, of course, wish you all the best in your convalescence.
Go ahead, next caller. Pleasant good morning to you. The phone was giving late trouble, but earlier, the calls and them now coming in and now getting them to touch the board. Right, so go ahead. And yes, so they can call all to the WhatsApp 366 or who just call the direct 366 number. Right, everything is so come. Not two phones on today. Go ahead.
Good morning, Ground Report. Well, Dr. Rowley don't move out, He moved out since Sunday night. He gone to the private residence to live. So if I could answer that last quarter, what you were asking, right? But furthermore than this charade that took place yesterday, old battery and all these other things that they regurgitating back into office. All this is part of the bargaining tool that happened in that meeting that they held at Balize House. All you understand what went on there? It was like gimme and give, right? Bantering. How you think Camille ended up as Attorney General? You understand what I'm saying? And all this is just for a Kobo sweat. It's just for 10 days. Because the man have to call an election very soon. And when that call, then you go see the two people falling into line where God forbid them come back into office. But what I try to say is that the UNC shouldn't even think about trying to go and appeal this matter in court with that. Because that is wasting precious time that they have here to concentrate on the ground resources of this country to get people to come out and vote for you. I think this is just a smoke screen thing here taking place. And the UNC and the opposition forces that form this alliance here should concentrate on getting down into the ground work and the ground at these constituencies, especially the marginal seats, and work there to get the people to turn from this PNM government back to the UNC. Because let me face it, she called for these PNM people to come out and vote for she, but they wouldn't vote. They would stay away. But the right-thinking people, the fence sitters, those on the line, them is the one you have to get out. Them is the one that frustrated the middle class and all these other people that facing the music and so many poor people that don't vote too. You have to get them to turn around the situation that is here. To win at least 3-4 seats. That is the government, 3-4 seats in the marginal area. That is what they should be concentrating on now. Forget about taking this to court because that's a waste of time. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Don't agree with that because they have to try. They have to because if people believe in that it's illegal, I believe that they have to, although yes, concentrate on winning the next election, which they are doing, but test it in the court because we need to show that because that means anybody. Well, that means Stewart could come now and say, well, he moving and he going to put Camille next month. You understand? So
exactly that, my friend. And I agree with you, Andy. Very, very well said. that just as the Bolt matter, remember there was this Bolt matter, but of course, Anand Ramlogan, as Attorney General, was opposed to that arrangement in Tobago, and of course, he then filed a matter in court for interpretation. So, what has to be done in such circumstance, and let the court decide that. And I think that is where the opposition will be going if they so do. So I agree that they should. But of course, that does not take away. They can be fighting this situation on all fronts. So it doesn't take away focusing on the elections and of course getting the groundswell that is required.
WhatsApp caller first. Go ahead, WhatsApp caller. Make it short and sweet.
Andy, good morning, man. Adi, after listening to Kamla speak last night and listening to the interview with Felix Alexander.
How sometimes your phone just be working good and sometimes it just be something bassy.
Okay, hold on. I gotta go outside because I'm in my shop working.
Oh.
Anyhow, you're listening to hear me better now.
Yeah.
Right. I have to step out the door. And Andy, after listening to Kamla talk in that meeting and after the interview, I watched the interview with Felix Alexander. Andy, we need to get rid of the PNF and get all 39 seats. All 39 seats. This woman have a vision for Trinidad. And come on, Mr. Porter Spain, you gotta have. Get on board. Everybody need to get on board with she. And tell Felix that Rowley's not moving out of the Prime Minister house. John Young is moving in with him. Anything that's the problem. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you
the man wants to move out.
Oh my God.
John Young or Jackie Chan or whatever, he's moving in. He and his wife and family, girlfriend, moving in with Rowley. So don't worry about that. That is taken care of. That is taken good care of. Don't worry about that, man. That's taken care of.
Rowley
already be only furniture already moving.
Rowley don't know he bed security. You understand?
I'm not that.
He's not there, but he's there still.
And Young Chung furniture. Jackie Chan furniture, but he furniture already moving.
Oh God! All right, I go there. See you.
Moving to Tobago is symbolic. That's all. He go for a day or two,
next caller.
Back and forth, kind of thing. I don't believe that he has moved out in the term that we know moving out means. No, he would of course do so and still have, of course, a say and a stake in the diplomatic center and home of the Prime Minister. But go ahead.
So long as Young there, Rowley there, partner. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning. For short, you know, if you call him Kim Jong-young. Kim Jong-young. You know, Kim Jong is the Kim Il-jong is the president of North Korea, which is he's one of the most famous dictators in the world. So it's Kim Jong-young now, right? Is the prime minister. But what we have to look forward to is restrictions on freedom of speech by way of legislation to regulate social media, right? Which is the one thing they can't get their hands on. We have to look out for Venezuelans getting citizenship of Trinidad and Tobago or residents and being able to vote in the next election. Venezuelans and Chinese and 1%ers, right, who don't have it yet. We have to look forward to meteoric rises in electricity and water rates courtesy of Smigel, right, otherwise known as Coleman Bird. And we have to look forward to more bad roads and other things such as that, right? We have to look forward to the criminalization of making macaroni pie and ham and a car to go to work and using a stove to cook, courtesy of what you name Marvin Gonzalez and Scotland, right? But Lennox, I wanted to shed a little light on this, right?
Go ahead.
Now we have to remember right now that we are in a state of emergency. The state of emergency is continuing, right?
Yes.
And as such, the Constitution has been suspended, either in its entirety or by way of just certain rights afforded to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But either way, the Constitution is suspended under a state of emergency. So therefore, right, this is a very bold and calculated move on the part of the People's National Movement. Right?
Look, Smiley actually says something that I agree with. Yeah, too. Smiley actually said the PNM playing 3D tasks with the with the Dotish people. So the PNM on a 3D mission.
Right. So what it is that, okay, they suspend the Constitution by way of a state of emergency. Constitution right now is not law, right? The law is basically whatever the Prime Minister and or the President wanted to be at this point in time, right? So they do that, right? The elected Prime Minister decides to step down and anoint his successor in a Maduro style
arrangement. Yes, arrangement. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So therefore, I mean, it's a state of emergency. So basically, they have orchestrated this entire move by the state of emergency to actually do and enforce their dictatorial ways on Trinidad and Tobago. And the last thing is by way of the cabinet reshuffle. The cabinet reshuffle is basically, you know, when our product not selling or it's starting to people kind of dislike the product itself. What they do is they package it, they put it in a new package to make it look like a new product. But the product, when you open the product and you taste it, it's still tasting like crap, or it's working good and all kind of thing. That is exactly what going this new PNM cabinet, right? Yeah. So this is the original marvel, and I say, well, I want to congratulate each and every one of you for the wonderful job that you all are doing. I want to thank Miss Santa Cruz, Miss Woodbrook, Miss Central, Mr. Tunapuna, Mr. Barako, and all of the other stalwarts on this program. And may you all continue to shed the light and educate people at Trinidad and Tobago. But on that state of emergency thing, what do you all think about it? I mean, that constitutional suspension and how it was orchestrated.
All right, we will mention that in a bit, and Santa Cruz already here saying congratulations to her. Go ahead, Santa Cruz, morning.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Mickie, and to everybody. Thank you, Marival, and I salute you as well. You know, that's what we are here for, to raise the issues, to make awareness, to bring awareness to the people, and don't let them fall for the PNM propaganda. And I think the best phrase for that repackaging is new wine in dirty vessels, because that is exactly what we got yesterday. New wine, no, I shouldn't say new wine, tainted wine in dirty vessels. That is what we got yesterday. And imagine, let me get to this part first. Lennox, welcome back. Lennox, you remember I told you the night before you were looking tired. Yeah, you were looking tired. Yes. You know, Lennox, the journey now starts. It now starts. We have a long way to go again, and you really, really need to rest up yourself, you know, to fight the natives and them, because that's what we have to do, fight the natives and them, right? And I want to compliment Mrs. Prasad Bisessa for the lovely meeting last night. And Andy, you know who I had to give a standing ovation last night? Philip Watts. He was really, really good. I like that fire in his belly. And when he started like that, I stood up. I salute you, sir. You understand? It was really, really good last night. And also Monilal and the other speakers. And then, well, you know, Anil, of course, right? Anil, held down the fort. It was really good. But I want to tell all the naysayers and them, all you who want to talk about Kamala, she weak and she this and she that and she the other. If all you had an ounce of honesty in all you, what happened there last night, all you would never be saying those things. But you know what? All you being paid. All you have an agenda, being paid to come and stink up the woman like that. But you know what? We will deal with all you every time all you come to talk nonsense. And you know, Andy, I wanted to tell the young man who spoke first, right? I call him a young man because he could be my son. Stuart Young is an elected member of parliament. He's the representative for St. Anne's West. right? He is an elected member, but they still went about it the wrong way. And we heard a lot about it last night, right? And all who want to talk about, and our target Wendell Eversley, talking about, we were talking Camille, and we had Annan Ramlogan and Gavin Nicholas. But I want to tell the naysayers and them, Annan Ramlogan and Gavin Nicholas never had money hiding in their handbag. You hearing me, Andy?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. They never had money hiding in their handbag. They never abused the state credit card for in vitro, wigs and weave, jewelry, chandelier, and then had the gall and the gumption to stand up in Parliament, right, to try to give her BS explanation. It was for medical. Where she was hanging the chandelier. What was the use of the chandelier in her medical issues? And Rowley, I never forget it, sat down next to her, opened a bottle of water, telling her, get them good girl, get them good girl. You see, by you telling her, get them a good girl, you saw she turned around now and come and had money hiding in the handbag. Annan Ramlogan and them never do that. And what was even more interesting last night is that Dr. Bonilal raised the issue about this woman having been under police investigation and then to go and represent us at some financial institution or so. You see, I was getting bits and pieces because I was kind of busy as well. So maybe you, Lennox, you can tell me more what it is he referred to, right?
Yes.
And she going to represent us there? What are these people thinking? They just wanted to scramble a cabinet. And oh my God, Marvin what's his name, Gonzalez, couldn't give us a 24-hour water supply, proper water, Lennox. And you got to put this man as the Minister of National Security. But my big question is this morning. Yeah, I want to ask, why wasn't Keith Scotland chosen as the Attorney General? Or why couldn't they bring in somebody like what they did with the Finance Minister and make them the Attorney General? Something is not right. Something is not sitting right. And I'm telling you here this morning, Lennox, sooner or later, we are going to find out. We are going to find out. Was Camille rewarded for getting the rest of them to turn around and support Stuart? What is it? Right? And you see all of them, where they put them in places, and as somebody rightly say, it's going to take them months to get acquainted with their ministries. How long do we have till election?
9 months they have maximum.
Yeah.
So let's have a time with that, yes.
Right. How long? And which means, Lennox, which means all those ministries now are going to be messed up more. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a good morning. Take care.
Yes, and of course, I think what is lacking there is the legal qualifications, credentials of Camille Robinson Regis to be Attorney General of this country. That is another questionable area. Let's go back to the lines. We take your calls.
Hello?
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Good morning to the magnificent tree. Yeah. Let me tell you something now. We shouldn't be even talking about this, you know. Them do something to how we come offline and how we talking about something so wrong. You know, Rowley started this years ago, since he interfered with the independent institution. Right? And you know what I'm talking about. EBC, President, Integrity Commission, the Police Service Commission, wherever it is. He interfered with it in the merit list. And he tests out the citizen of the land. And the citizen of the land proved to be very weak. Even Imbo tell us he raised gas 3 times and they are right yet. And he will raise it again. It's showing you how weak we are. And what's showing you how weak we are? Wise Day was lauding the decision in the UNC, the 5 of them, for making Kamala call the election when Kamala didn't say she was calling it. Because that is Kamala have democracy. So she wasn't putting off that election. And they were lauding them. And what they going to do? Put off their own election. And now today, they put the own prime minister, in Stuart Young. But let me tell you how this procedure is a dangerous procedure. If they want, according to what I hear, Israel can say they do nothing wrong. Right? If something could happen. Yes, right. But if they want, before the election call, everybody in this PNM government could be receiving $87,000 a month. Because whatever is Stuart Young decide to resign and put people because when he doing the right thing. Because they had the support and the MP in the house. And then because Marvin Gonzalez. At the end of the day, before they call the election, everybody could be receiving $87,000 a month. You have to understand where we're going with this. This is a serious issue, and we on the ground here explaining that. We saying it's a new thing and a new thing, but we have constitution and rolling mashing up everything for your own gain. But my wife was telling me, she said, let me tell you something. Rowley know he gonna lose the election, and he just put Stuart Young to get a change. And if to blame when they lose the election is Stuart Young, who will do good in 4 months or 5 months, that make he lose the election and Rowley lose the election is Stuart Young. So let me get tapped with what Rowley do and call it a new thing. It is no new thing. It could happen with any government when you throw democracy and moral and spiritual value. That could happen. So it's nothing good that Rowley do. It's a bad precedent, and everything bad Rowley does do. You have to understand the information, what he does do. He is a man doing anything, and so long as he could get through it, because we suffer in this area, we are toilet paper people, just like his party is executive, toilet paper executive, they allow him to bulldoze their constitution, just like we have a Monroe system going on here, and this is communism at the highest level. So let me talk about that too much, and let me stay online to get voters to vote the UNC back into office. And I see that fellow what's down there. I didn't even know that he crossed and come over on the UNC side. I'm glad for that, because I could remember when Griffith and Last left the PNM and come across on the UNC, and Griffith had one in the Tuco, San Grande area. So we on good stead. So good morning to you boys. All the level get this track and work what we want, because what Rowley do, it is not democracy. This is communism. And no matter what people say, if they want everybody, $87,000 a month. Good day. Yeah.
My only difficulty, Andy, is that of course I didn't think it was necessary for him to start with that the people are weak or they are timid. No, he ended up very, very strong by of course treating with the issue as it is, and that is what it is all about. If we remain silent on the matter, well then it's a different story. But we have not. We have been, as he did, expose it, and therefore we will continue so to do. And I expect every single citizen, because strength here doesn't mean physical strength. What do you do in the absence of the ability to identify and use these medium or media in order to, of course, express our deep concern about the matter? It means, therefore, we will be, of course, degenerated into a sort of savage society if we engage in, of course, in physical. And I don't think that is what the caller would want. So I just want to make sure that when we are talking, this in itself is strength and not weakness. And any other thing, of course, will be physical if that is the contemplation, and therefore would have degenerate Trinidad and Tobago to a place where we don't want to be. We have another call. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Good morning to you. And good morning to your listeners on Media TV, on Facebook, on
Morning,
YouTube.
Kingsley. Morning. How are you feeling this morning?
Kingsley, before you start, I would like to get in contact with you, or if you can contact me, please.
But let's meet you my number.
6940. I don't have
it. Let's meet. You have my number. You have my number.
Have it? No.
And give me my number, man. You have my number.
The phone. Listen. The phone I had it on. I lost it when we moved to George Street, so I don't have it. All right. So if you could call me after the program, I will appreciate that.
Yeah, okay, sir. Hold on.
Just give a call after the program, Kingsley. It's important, he say.
Yeah, no. Yeah, people going to have enforcement south. So, but give me I need number again. Smith. Take it slow.
337-6940. 337-6940.
69 what?
40.
337-6940.
Okay. I have it. Yeah. But I must say, Andy, the cabinet look like the same. Nothing different. You know what I mean? Yesterday when I see they give Leon's a 10 days. Because it's a 10 days he get there. Leon get 10 days.
All of
you know what I mean?
All of them, not just he. All of them.
You know, he going out. You know, he's a going out MP. So they give him 10 days. Make him a minister. A minister. This country really going, you know. This country really going, you know. But end of the day, and Lennox Smith, I am hearing that Stockton is going to do something better for the African community, right?
In 9 months.
They are hoping
maximum.
They are hoping to see Stockton to down the African community. But I asked Stockton for a debate to tell me the last 9 years what he done for the people of St. Anne's, Gonzales, and Belmont wrong there. Show me achievement for the last 9 years. There, what you did. I asked for that debate. I asked for a debate also for Scotland. I need a debate because I live in Portsmouth South. I need a debate with Scotland. Kingsley, and tell me what is actually who he in power. And the lady was right last night. I listened to this lady carefully last night. Crime in our community, in the PNM stronghold, and every Stockton where he don't give a damn because the people in Shafford Court don't look like he, and in Belmont and Gonzales don't look like he. So he don't give a damn. When I come on this program some months ago, and I questioned Stockton, and I went on his page because I was going on page and Mako. Stockton start walking now because he know he was becoming the prime minister. He start walking in Gonzales, he start walking in Shafford and shaking them boys in my hand. And when I scroll down about 2 years, I scroll down 2 years to see nothing. I say, oh, he listening to the ground report. And I am saying this. I want a debate with Stuart Young and Scotland put together. They can't debate me on what I wanted to debate on, what their achievement, who they empower. As I said, Scotland is 10 times worse than Mary McDonald. Mary McDonald still is to be on the ground. McDonald remove people who have a colorful character and uplift them. Get them house, get them contract to come out of the ghetto. Get them government jobs, stable jobs. That's what and only when they die is sitting on the political side. I want Manny McDonald, but I also work with Manny McDonald for 7 years. For 7 years. Keep Scotland nowhere on the ground. He nowhere on the ground. He not carrying the ground. The ground do not know him. He do not walk the ground. They cannot see him. He believe that if your hands not long like nails, I do not know. But this man being some it had these things going on now where men, them rappers, millionaires pinning them braids in the hair. That is braids, that is weave. And I don't care any man pinning that. What a man pinning braids in his hair to do what? And how the braids down in your eye. That is a female action to me. As a man, as a real man, that is a female action to me. That a man paying braids in his head because you have a little money and now see them about them because you know once because a man called Vice Cartel and certain big rappers and celebrities men using it as a style and we know this. So this is madness. This is madness. This is madness on the whole. So we say, where we going with this? Yesterday, a handful of people went out there to say Rowdy must go. Rowdy don't go on. Why you still say Rowdy must go? Rowdy go on. He gone in the hand. We don't know what we should be doing. We should be laying our bucket down in Glencoe there. She shouldn't have a free ride out. And I must join war, a cold war. I must fight a cold war. I am a frontline soldier. I'm a general in the army. And I am not fighting a cold war. I'm a supporter of Trump for over 13 years. I'm a fighter. I believe in loyalty. And in the last 9 years, Kingsley gave his blood and his life to the UNC. For the last 9 years, I gave my life and my blood to the UNC. My people criticize me. I can't go somewhere now because why they say Kingsley is at the bottom African. And the UNC leave me. Nobody don't care about that, you know. They care about what Kingsley had to say. But they don't care when Kingsley pick up his phone and trying to contact individuals. Nobody don't care. If I am not fighting, no court fight. I'm not afraid to say Stuart Young and his family have to get locked up. I'm not afraid to say that we is going, if we win power, we will go after Stuart Young family, his brother, his father. Me for this because that's what we're going to do. We have, because in the last 9 years, the government weaponized the whole ABC, the police station, the ministry, the government here in this country here weaponized the system. I know it. Who? No, Trump is a multi-billionaire. And Trump wants power. Who managed to leave from power? Who managed to run from power? Eh? Who managed to run from power? Eh? Who is scapegoat in this thing now? You come to cost the UK. We support the UK. We support the UK because the people who live in to go in the UK, it's not from Blackpool, it's not from Couva, it's from Beetham, Laventille, it's from PNM areas who could go in UK. We support UK, we support England. Bring the visa, bring it. Because it's not people from Shogunas or Couva or Pinal running for silent in America. It's people who living in PNM stronghold areas. So, you're gonna tell me, you think Kingsley talking about, I don't want PM to win. It's 9 years of labor. 9 years of labor and sweat. I sweat. 9 years. But if I ain't getting respect, but I all hell will break loose. All hell will break loose. It's hell upon hell will come down on the UNC or the rot of my mouth. And I don't care.
Oh boy.
So I am focusing. But if me get a respect what I demand, because I respect them. In the last 9 years, Andy and Lennox Smith, I gave my life and my sweat to support the UNC and the leader. And today, people who I stand up in defense for my party and my leader, I see she hugging them up and putting Kingsley on the side. The record there to show, you know. There's videos, the news clips, there's radio programs, and they there to see. So if ever see me talking now, says something is wrong, and nobody's fixing it. So, as I close, Lord Smith, you could reach out to me if I can help you anyway. Impossible solved because I know that you will play a major part in the campaign in Laventil. I will give you that support because I can't vote for PNM. Me voting. I can't vote for PNM. I can tell you that. Me not voting for Storting on them. You understand me? Because I know them have a problem with people like me. Me vote for them. But I am saying this. If I had to tell the public, take the right choice in the next election, I'm going to say it because it has more parties there. So, again, I demand my respect. 9 years ICE labor. When these people was against us, look how much meetings and protests we keep. You ever see Philip and Roger out there with the pushback movement, with the Gong report? I was insulted for the UNC. I was in the front line. I was labeled. I was scandal. They opened my legs wide. They said, Kingsley, nothing for you. When I walk the road, I am labeled as a UNC. When I go on the radio, I label as a UNC. When I walk the road, I travel in taxis. When people see me, I label as a UNC. And the UNC leave me, and me in need the UNC. But I want to tell all you in know what Kingsley does do. And we know what I can do. Because all you put me in that position. All you help me to be the person I is today. And when you create a monster, and when you hire dogs, and you ain't feed the dogs, your dog just turn around and bite you. I thank you very much, Andy, and that's what giving me the opportunity.
The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Trinidad and Tobago, the time for complaining, the time for disunity, that's over. What we have to do is mind our business because the PNM minding their own. I look forward for Kingsley calling Lennox Smith and help him play a role within the Laventil community. We just got spot in our face yesterday, and it's a fact. And what I have to do now is continue the calls. He take a while. Go ahead, caller.
Diego Martin on the inside again, Professor Andy and Lennox, Assistant Professor Mickie. I want to focus on a really heart-wrenching information that was put out last night by the Honorable Senator Arnold Roberts. And that has to do with the gentleman who was bullied by Stuart Lalbihari. And I want to bring the Roman Catholic board into the discussion because it might have happened 33 years ago. But I want to know that boy who was bullied, if he was given a fair chance of remaining in school or he was discriminated against and expelled at the expense of somebody who probably was in Korah with the hierarchy of the church by giving them lots of money because they come from a well. That particular Lalbihari came from a well, as they say, family who had the wherewithal. So I want to know if that gentleman who he bullied and caused to be expelled, where is that gentleman now? Is he happy? Is he sad? Was he given a fair opportunity to succeed in Trinidad and Tobago? Because you know we have lots of discrimination since the PNM got into power 58 to 62 still now. And the fact that he got the opportunity to now become prime minister, we deprive another person. So we have to open up that investigation and ask the Roman Catholic board to come clean because we know their affiliation with the PNM government. We know the Roman Catholic afforded the PNM, for example, the MP for St. Joseph a long while ago. They have lots of things. Even, you remember a fellow by the name of Faber Harvey? He was a mouthpiece for the PNM. You have current leadership of the Roman Catholic Church continue to spew and deflect from the reality of the PNM. I'm going to have a nice morning.
Thank you very much. Nice, you all can make your calls. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Everything up and running. Oh boy, don't mind the little delay for now, but everything is up and running.
But Andy, you made a very important point earlier, and that is, of course, after the subsequent or after Kingsley's presentation, and that is, of course, why there is no need, frankly, and no time for, of course, any kind of what I consider to be disunity element at this point in time, because of what is at stake. What is at stake is, of course, is Trinidad and Tobago. What is at stake is the recognition, first and foremost, of the toxicity and the cesspool that, of course, is the Rowley Chinaman Young administrations, and the fact that there will be no change, if not, of course, the thing getting even more exacerbated or worse. And therefore, whatever disappointment, I think it could be addressed in certain quarters, particularly when one is saying that they cannot vote for, they cannot support, of course, the PNM, but still, of course, making statements that does not advance the cause of the anti-PNM sentiments. And I think that kind of advice, I think, is very, very important, and not only as far as the caller who would have, of course, expressed that, but certainly moving forward. Because if it is that you know that the PNM is the problem, if you know that they are dastard, that they are diabolical, that they are evil, etc., and you cannot, of course, bring yourself to even associate, far less to contemplate, then, of course, the other side of the coin is that it is the good that could be and must be Trinidad and Tobago moving forward. And therefore, in such circumstance, I would ask for restraint.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, gentlemen. Calling from the Barrackport here. Gentlemen, there's a phrase in war. When you see weapons are drawn, they just say, we are at the 12th hour. All heads must be together, and we must be thinking as one to win this war and to go forward and fight. We are in the 12th hour right now. Anybody who have any kind of issue right now with where they feel, where they stand, who they like, who they dislike, and all kind of thing, I think they should withdraw from this war and support who they want to support on their own. Don't call and be hearing it have dissatisfaction in the army, because this is a serious issue. That done, I wouldn't have nothing else to say about that. The fact of the matter is that we had to look at the hypocrisy of what we have to deal with in present right now. Now, we follow the Westminster system of governance in Trinidad and Tobago. What has happened in the Parliament, that is part of the Westminster system, where we have seen it happen about 3 times in the recent couple months in the UK Parliament, where Rishi Sunak was the Prime Minister. They removed him. Before was Stam. Now we named the remove, and then now we have another Prime Minister. So we live under that governance. So what is taking place in our Parliament now is normal. Going on the road of trying to bring this thing in court and all kind of thing will just be, on my behalf, think we wasting time. Right now, and why I'm saying that now, we have to look at the ideology and the thinking of Rowley. Now, Rowley could use the Westminster system, the British system, to do something like what he did to satisfy himself and the party. But now, when it comes to the Privy Council, which is the same system they follow, that is good for Rowley. Because they again brought to the court and they're losing all the cases that they challenge citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and they challenge our constitution. They're losing it in the Privy Council. So the Westminster system is good for Rowley in one part where it is beneficial, where you could do something like what Stuart Young. But when justice has to prevail, when people who they take advantage of and goes and face the Westminster system, and the Westminster system say, hey, this government operate illegally. This man who thief this $3 billion and want to investigate the Auditor General, is he supposed to be investigated instead? And Rowley don't like that. So we have to look at the hypocrisy of this man, which is a absolute and total dictator. So now that we analyze and we understand this, we ask ourselves, what is a government? When you Google what is a government and understand, it's a group of people that is selected, elected, but they have the opportunity to govern a country, to run the affairs of a country. And if it is a governance or a government, cannot do that. We have the opportunity now to use our democratic right and say, hey, we hire you people. All you fail at all the task all you did. We are worse off today than when all you promised that all you're going to serve this country and govern the affairs of Trinidad and Tobago and bring prosperity, economic stability, and whatever all you're supposed to do. All you fail at that. Now, the same set of people who was there then is the same set of people minus one or two of them. When a government operates, they operate on a collective head. Everybody sits together and make decisions. They come and they proclaim a budget, and the entire government, under the elected head of the Prime Minister, would decide how we govern it, who to allocate, which sector and thing. So you could mix this card. You could deal it, shuffle it, do whatever you want to do with it. It still comes down, nothing going to change under this PNM. They has failed, they would always fail, and they'll continue to fail. And what people need to understand now is that we are getting an opportunity in our lives to make a difference for Trinidad and Tobago and make a difference for the future of our country, the children of our country. And if all you want to be like a sort of mother dog, barking and fighting amongst each other, and cannot come to terms that here what? All you're getting a God-given opportunity. A miracle is happening to be alive in this day and age, to decide that evil has come upon this land, and all you're getting an opportunity to make a difference. All you get, we see situation like that happen with Moses, we see situation with Noah, we see situation happen with all kind of things, where people made the concerted effort to get rid of evil. We have this coming upon us. I don't care who they put where, who cross the fence, who do this, who did. My focus is, here what? We have to get rid of the PNM government. If I could convince 10 people to open up their senses and know that, here what? For the last 10 years, things went wrong. They had a tribal affiliation and all this kind of thing, and let them see it, let them see through a different light that they're going to vote for the PNM. I feel I satisfied that. No matter what is the outcome, I feel that I am satisfied. And I am not going to call no radio station and complain like no mother dog every morning about respect and disrespect and all this kind of thing. Not at this 12th hour. So who feel that that is the way they need to go? They are doing a disservice. They are no different than the evil that was on us for the last 10 years. The right-thinking citizens of this Trinidad and Tobago would put all the differences aside and say, together we stand strong, united, and when we go forward with one vision and one purpose. UNCC Code Kamla Prasad Bisasa is our representative for being the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and all the talk should supposed to end there, and we're supposed to make that decision on the date that whoever is the Prime Minister, they could put 30 of them from now until they call election. I don't care. All I just want to know, when that day come and I go and do what the God tell me to do, is to vote out evil from Trinidad and Tobago and put back some sanity and some respect and dignity in the lives and hearts of Trinidad and Tobago. Have a good morning, gentlemen. Be careful and be safe outside later.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Andy. Good morning. You hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Your phone was crossing back and forth, and I don't know what's going on. Listen. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Listen, I have went a little bit, I have went a little bit about something here I was talking about yesterday. When Raleigh had his meeting with the party members, and there was disagree, but Stuart Young was over there. I went in a little bit about this. He said he had a meeting. They was upset because Beckles should be the prime minister. You all know that. He went inside there, had a meeting with them. And he had a meeting to give them a deal. So all this thing taking place, it wasn't a surprise to anybody. It's that he put everybody where they're supposed to be right now. Where they're supposed to be right now. That's the deal they make. He had made the deal. Everybody knew that where they was going. Where they going to put him. They all know that. That was a whole setup. Then it wasn't a surprise to nobody. It's a surprise to everybody outside, but it wasn't a surprise to them. As all as you have to was Christine Kangaloo, all of them. All of them knew that. So that's why I said yesterday that what happened yesterday with the president is going to go through. Nobody can stop that. But the right thing they're supposed to do is to go in the parliament and vent all of that and vote who they want to put in. But it didn't happen like that. Because Raleigh went and like the Merciless, he went inside and make a deal with the members over there, the party over there, that they're going to put Stuart wrong for the prime minister, and they will give certain places. And now they agree. That's why they come out and they did not say anything. They keep them out shut and everybody go with the flow. Right? Okay. Next thing again. Kingsley, please, man, stop venting about Kamlan, all about blah, blah, blah. Whatever happened to you all, we don't care. They have an election going on, man. Stop it. They're getting annoyed now. All right? Stop thing like Andy said, stop doing in the past what happened. They have an election going on. Every time they have an election, somebody have to be coming and talking a pack of nonsense. We don't want that. You have to come to one now. Get rid of the main person. They get rid of that PNM for good. That is what they want. That is the whole purpose of it. Stop talking about this, that, and the other, blah, blah. You think like a little boy, man. You're like a little child. You want a lollipop? Huh? You want a lollipop to suck? Come on, Kingsley, that big man. Stop that. Stop it, man. All right, that's all that answers, Andy.
Aye. Mikey, a pleasant good morning to you, my brother. Unmute. Oh, boy.
That should bring it up here.
Nice.
Good morning, my brother. Yeah, is that better?
Yeah, man. Go ahead, my brother.
Loud and clear. Yes, indeed. Good morning to you, my brother Andy Pitbull Williams. Morning to you, political leader of Love, Lennox Smith. Of course, our technical director, our good folks on Gael TV. That's our CARICOM brothers and sisters. Those on the Sister Isle Tobago, and of course the diaspora, wherever you are, that you're locked on, North America, UK, wherever, across the region, to all the stakeholders, to all the corridor transformers, to all the observers, and to all the ground reporters, a pleasant and blessed morning. Yes, a lot to talk about, Andy, and you're right. I mean, this is no time for people to be toting feelings and coming out with whatever, I mean, that doesn't help the cause whatsoever. But interesting times, very much so. Well, Lennox, I'm glad to see you feeling better and you're back with us here this morning. I don't know if you witnessed the ceremony, all that took place yesterday, but quite interesting, I must say. Yeah, you got to unmute there, Lennox. All right, he is muted. Lennox, you're muted still, huh? Still muted. All right, Andy, you have calls. You have.
we have
a mix. Yeah.
All right,
So
let me take
you're
some
still
calls here by
muted.
the time.
For some reason, we're not hearing him clearly at all.
Go ahead,
as a
caller.
matter.
Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Morning, Andy.
Nice.
Report here.
Go ahead, Freeport.
Andy,
Yeah, man.
tell Kingsley that Freeport don't forget, He forget for the Sawa Barataria by-election and the Belmont by-election. He was saying, if Kamala don't pay me, I'm not working. So he had to work for money. I work free. I do all kind of things free. I never get nothing from the UNC. And the next thing, Andy, they have a lot Texas callers and Texas bashing the other supporters at the ground report and the UNC. That is not good. All you have to check on the chat on them and see the kind of nastiness the number one and number two and number three and whoever there is making nasty thing, insultive thing about Texas because they don't like the Texas and them. Right? So these things have to stop. Because when you do things to that to supporters at the ground report and the UNC, you're running them. So I don't know how all you're going to do it, but I think all you have to put a stop to it. And all going on, all you're not stopping it, it looks like all you're encouraging it, Candy. Because it's going on and on and on. Just imagine people telling people how
the founder of Facebook, he encouraging it too. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, who are Twitter, them encouraging it too. Boy, these is things people have no control over, and we cannot interfere them things. It have a community guidelines where people will get banned according to what direction they go down from Facebook or YouTube and all those various things. Besides that, it have other platforms that people jumping onto that don't long belongs to real media, TT, and all those various things. Andy Williams, is ignored that. What we have to concentrate on is the elections coming and getting rid of the PNM.
Yeah. So wait now.
Watch every damn text, every Facebook, every YouTube. Who say this? Who say that? I don't want no part of that.
So wait now. So people could just come on the live and disrespect people just so why?
I don't know. I never see nobody disrespect nobody. I don't be watching the live right through. Understand what I'm telling you? You can't give me that walk.
Up to last night. Last night,
I was never on live last night.
I'm going to tell you.
Call Lennox and tell Lennox that on his program. Oh, God. Don't give me all that work, Jay. Don't give me all that work.
Why?
Don't give me all that work. I don't give a damn what on the live day and what and what and what and what and what. Everybody... They do something out of the way, Facebook go ban them. They do something out of the way, YouTube go ban them. Let them handle stories. I have a country. I had to organize a campaign for a country for the UNC to win the next election. Not to study who's saying what and what and what. Wait. Ice Mark Zuckerberg or what? What do you want YouTube? Come on now, man. Let me take some calls now. Next. Morning caller.
Good morning, ground report. To the Puna here again, Andy. Lennox, I want you, Mikey.
Andy, are you hearing me now?
Yeah, we are in your loud and
Yeah, we are in here.
Thank you very much. Okay, go ahead, caller. I will not interrupt your contribution.
Now, Lennox, let me ask you something. With these new positions, Coleman Burton being the Minister of Public Utilities and whatnot. How soon, with the immediate effect that these fellas going into the new offices, Lennox?
Yeah, once they are consummated by the president, once the president administer the oath of office. They are there. Yes.
All right. Let me ask you something. What happened then with this situation, with this $3 billion missing with the Auditor General concern raised? Is that just going to die a sudden death? I want if the new Minister of Finance, I can't remember the damn man name. If he, Dan Paul, if he is going to pursue that matter, because here it is, if it is that you come in there as the new Minister of Finance, and there is something that is, is of great concern to this country, where the economy is concerned, one would expect that you will have to address this situation. And this must not just go unheeded and, just by the wayside, because $3 billion cannot be accounted for. And therefore, but supposed to be investigated and charged if possible.
That would not happen, Mr. Tunapuna. The only way for any investigation, anything to go on is through a change in government. You would never get a PNM. You will never get a PNM finance minister that the PNM appoint, and they're there now, whether the new or old, going and organized to look into whatever the Auditor General complaints was or if it go. The only clarity the people of Trinidad and Tobago will get when it comes to that is when Kamala Prasad BCS and the UNC come in power, a change of government. The only way we can get any answers to any questions we want answer will be in a change of government. This government here not going to do that.
Well, Andy, let me tell you something.
Yeah, in all practicality, but hypothetically speaking, you have the Commissioner of Police who, of course, can make an investigation or generate an investigation into the matter. And you also have, of course, the newly minted Attorney General who can also, of course, make some kind of representation to the and of course, you have the new Prime Minister as well, who can, of course, express our concern and therefore initiate. But as Andy rightly said, you don't expect that because the government is immoral, they are unethical, and they have a reputation of protecting what they consider to be their own, especially those in the upper echelons of the administration or where the air is rare, and therefore they are considered to be, of course, above the law of Trinidad and Tobago. So, there you have it.
Let me ask you something then. Then there is starting off with a dereliction of duty. Excuse. If it is that you have taken up this new position, the responsibilities are new as the Minister of Finance, the Minister of National Security, and whoever is to have an investigation launched. Because it comes like if you're going to take up a new assignment on a job, Lennox, what you have is continuity. You would have to know what happened then in the past in order for me to progress, not so, Lennox?
Yeah, but I would expect that these fellas will be avoiding the media because the media has almost come into its own now, and they will be, of course, speaking as to these outstanding matters, clearly. But there's another option, which, of course, I have taken it upon myself. I will be writing to the current minister through, of course, the permanent secretary under the Freedom of Information Act to find out what is his position on these outstanding matters in the public domain.
And the second thing I want to ask is, Rowley, like he on some kind of substance abuse violence. Because here it is, article on the papers, page 3, Monday, yesterday. Rowley slams visa ragamuffins. And here what it is, he said, in his final last hours as Prime Minister, Kid Rowley blasted United Kingdom government over his decision to impose visa restriction on Trinidad and Tobago nationals and called for his country to get the hell out of the Privy Council. He said these visa requirements are seeking access to the country's final court of appeal, the Privy Council, which is located in London. He called on the British government to review its unfair, unjust, and disgraceful decision. And it said that what it is causing is great harm to this country in terms of our investment, our economy, and and all the things that goes with it. I am asking the question, you get the hell out of there. If you were there, why didn't you address all these issues? Huh? But now that you're leaving, You know what you're doing? This is further putting this country in a hellhole, you know, where we are being looked at as a country of with no investment, no foreign investors, nothing at all. And people are watching we as raw sewage. And you on your departure, on your way out, instead of you keep your blasted mouth shut. This is what you're telling the British government, who the new government that's coming in Kamala Patel will have to deal with, and and make up for all the wrongdoings that you all have done to this country, the image that you have done to this country and to the global world, that we have to rebuild a kind of a status that makes us that we really head into and want to be here to the first world countries. Because as it is right now, you all have taken that down to the lowest ever of governance in this in the world, I should say, based on crime, health, education, and every damn thing that goes with it. Dan Paul and all of them. All they had to come out and clear the air and this call me, but it's you know. Don't say that you wasn't there and that happened when you were not a minister of finance. You have a responsibility. You have to make sure and balance the books. This is your responsibility, and you have to clear the air to make sure that because a budget was read, right? And then you're going to go because why I'm saying this, Lennox, in the midterm budget review, these fellas had to come out and give a clear indication as to what they do with the money, how much money they collected, they spent, and what have you, and where the money going. Understand what I'm saying, Lennox? Have a blessed day. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Next caller. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Morning caller. Where you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report? It's a lot of calls. You all try to make it short and sweet. And to the rest, yes, go ahead, caller.
Yes, morning, Andy, Mickie, K, and Lennox, Trinidad and Tobago. And this Sunday, I was so amazed. It didn't surprise me, but I was amazed to hear Prime Minister talking about the opposition leader. Just imagine it. It's almost 10 years. 10 years this man in power. You understand? And this man continues on the opposition leader right through. I say like something wrong with this man. Although he retired, he gone, but his heart is on the prime minister, the former prime minister. This man continuing this nonsense right through. I get so upset because I don't really watch him, but I say Sunday, let me sit down a little while and see what was said. When I hear this man, is every minute, everything the man say is the opposition leader. But I want to tell him his slate is not clean at all. And I want to tell him also it alleged when they went on the retreat, that was something they was planning. They planned all that to shift around and put this one, the one put this one in Attorney General. What part in her? What part in her deserve that leadership, boy? No part in her at all. All you're moving and all you're changing because all the wickedness in all your heart. Wickedness in all your heart, but God will reveal it and God will show you that come election day, all you will be out. And listen to me, Trinidad and Tobago. Hear what I tell you know. Any time when they put back the PNM here, we come like with nothing in this country. So all you just watch and see what's going on. And all you think about what all you're doing. Because you see, that Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, he will never give up, although he's out. But he will always have something to tell the Prime Minister right now. He will also have to be telling you what to do because it's in his brain. It's in his brain. So let him burn off from my face.
Oh boy, oh boy. Nice. Next caller. Morning caller.
Good morning, Ground Report, Trinidad and Tobago and all listeners. Trinidad and Tobago is in some serious mess. I do not think they have enough toilet paper to clean up that big mess. Please, guys, be on the alert. It's coming and it's coming hard. Guys, I am so sorry to say you're all going back to eat fig and salt and oil. I don't know if you all have some oil down there. It is
all right,
so
and what
sad.
making you say that? What making you say that Trinidad and Tobago going back to oil, salt, and pepper?
Yes, because if you all leave it like it is, it's going to happen. Why don't you all go out there and protest and demand what all you want? All you want to change, all you want to get the man out there. Go out there for the carnival. The people went out there by the thousand. That big party they had out there, they went out there by the thousand. Why can't they do it? Show the man that you all are not as scared of him.
Right, but he's not there anymore. Now it's Stuart Young, so some people
Well,
might be
right, go after Stuart Young. They cut from the same cloth. They cut from the same cloth, man. Guys, I'm out here, but it's hurting to see what happened to my country. It's hurting, guys. Do something for the young children. I sat down this morning and I had a lovely breakfast. I had bacon, orange juice, toast, eggs this morning. What you all gonna have? What? Think about the young children on you, please. Please. It's hurting, man. Go out there and fight, man. That man is going to buy the election. He's going to buy it. I said it. He got the money to buy it. Where's the $2 billion, $3 billion? Where it is? Come on, children. It's hurting to see what happened to Trinidad and Tobago. Sanction is going to come. It's going to be worse. Rowley, go and let them take the Venezuelan, let them take the Jamaican, let them take the Chinese and get out. Please. Life was nice in Trinidad. What happened now? The Venezuelan gang down there, that's why you're all having a lot of beheaded people. It's the same thing happening here in the States. They're finding a head there, a body there, a foot here. I told you all about a month ago. They are renting the guns. They are renting it for all this home invasion. They're putting it down there, one man rented it. Put it down in the east, one man rented it. I keep telling you all that. Go out there and fight, fight, fight. Stuart hanging, have his pocket full. How much more he can take in his pocket again? Why did he go there? And he know he cannot handle that. He know he cannot handle a presidency. It takes people with power to do that. I'll pray. I plead the blood of Jesus on all of us, especially Kamala. I plead the blood of Jesus over you all, man. Take care of you all. Guys, I'm going to work now. And tears in my eye. My heart is hurting for you all. You all have a blessed one. Take care, guys.
Wake up! Oh God, wake up!
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The lines are open, eh? Oh, sir. Morning caller. Go ahead, caller, morning. Oh boy, let me take a next call. Go ahead, caller. Morning. Morning,
Hey,
caller.
good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox, and good morning, Mighty K. Hey, Mr. Mighty K, I caught your on the Observer. I caught your interview with Lieutenant Commander Dindial. That's the chap's name.
Yes.
Some time ago. Yeah. Very, very, very good interview. I compliment you on that, man. And he is a true patriot, really underutilized as far as I'm concerned in Trinidad and Tobago. And there's another young man, I'm sure you're familiar with him. Well, he kind of old like all four of us, but I knew him as a boy growing up. I seen him how he flourished in his naval career. Young Kelshaw, that's
Yes,
Admiral Kelshaw's son. If you ever get a chance to interview him, also please, that'll be awesome. But well, good show. And to the dear lady, ma'am, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. The caller you just had there, Andy. But ma'am, look, there's so much you can do. Just do your part, even though you're not in Trinidad itself. I hope that call puts to rest some of the idiots out there who say that because we are out here, that we don't have any interest in what happens with Trinidad. Because guess what? Regardless of what, you will be Trinbagonians first and anything else after in whatever country you're based. But most importantly, remember, you still have a connection to Trinidad, whether it's loved ones, family, or whatever, right? So, I hope
home.
that
We're trying to say is like, at the end of the day, Trinidad is all your home. It's your home.
Right.
It's somewhere else, but it's your home. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, and I hope that these haters out here, that realize, that lady speaks volumes of where our hearts really are. Okay. Anyway, hi guys, have a good day. God bless. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you very much. Let's take a next call. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Morning caller, where you calling from? What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Good morning, Ground Report. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Tiong, you're glad to be the Prime Minister, but you don't know your head already on a platter like John the Baptist. You're going again and Rowley put you in front of the battle to get killed, just like how David put Uriah in front of the battle to get killed to get his wife. Tiong, everything you sign come right back to you. Rowley don't know anything about them things because if you do it. So you see how your head already on a platter with America? And Rowley put your head on a platter. So Tiong, what you really doing there? You understand? You don't know all them things. You didn't see them things coming, no? Neither. You didn't see all of that. Rowley, Tiong, you already dead. You're dead already because America have your head on a platter.
How the people in Tobago viewing this whole debacle that is going on, especially with Trinidadians? It's Trinidadians. It's who really and truly standing up and taking this madness. Oh.
We want to know what all you're really doing down there. Tobagoans really want to know what all you're doing. As a matter of fact, I really want to know what all you're doing. That's why I don't call you nothing again, Because I'm sick and tired of this choppiness all going on with down there, really. All you for real down there? I don't understand all you. I cannot understand all you at all. Rowley is the Antichrist. Venezuela is the dragon. Venezuela is the devil, and if the devil right there, the Antichrist have to be right there. All you're saying all the man doing is the Antichrist doing. I tell all of that already, but like all you can't see. All you have to put the Bible in all of this too. All you can't just do everything on all your own. You understand? All you have to let Christ reign in everything in this world you're doing. Although don't try to fight this. This is bigger than every one of us. You could fight the devil by yourself. I cannot fight the devil by understand. I just try my best, you understand, to pray to the Almighty, to make things happen, you understand? But when you go out there without God, how you expect it to happen? Everybody forgetting God, you understand, Jesus, and they're going out there to fight on their own. They can't fight that battle. They cannot. Rowley is the devil, and he's stronger than us. You understand? We have to fight another way to fight the devil. We cannot do this on our own. So please, people, all go down and pray. Do something else different. I'm not telling you to join the devil. If you join the devil, nothing cannot happen. His years are coming on this program and I'm telling all you like it is. And everything I talk here coming to pass. All you come to all your senses down there, rebuke the devil and he go flee from all you. Hey, put God in all your thoughts. Get rid of the devil.
They're doing that. They're trying to do that. But what if I say that the EBC already promised Stuart Young the next general election? The EBC is already bought out the next, or this Young family already bought out the next general election for Young to be next prime minister of the country.
Hello.
Through the EBC.
Hello. Hello. God is stronger than anything. God is stronger than anything you could imagine in this world. All you don't forget that. God's stronger than the EBC. God's stronger than Stuart Young. Will you really think it is? Eh? God is really stronger than that. I prove him. I put him through tests. I prove him. You understand? And there is a God, a living God, and you have a Jesus. You have God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. You understand? And I believe in that. And when I go to church, you understand? I just tell them in church like it is. And when I talk, the brother just come up and say, well, sister, it's truth. That is truth. That is truth. They can't say what I talking is nonsense because they know the truth is the truth and they can't hide the truth. You understand? If you stand up for the truth, God will for you. Stand up for Jesus and he always will stand up for you. You understand? Forget about the devil and forget about what EBC do and what this do. Keep focus on God. I just can't do all you're doing. But the main attraction and the center of the attraction is the Almighty. Put him in the head of every single thing. I used to tell Tubigonian that. And that is why they win the 41. You understand? So all you do, please, don't forget about God. Put God in the center of every single thing. Who never used to pray, all you pray. I just start to pray. Just start to pray. Right? Because the man right there too. The Jesus right there too. And nobody has seen that. They've seen everything else, but they're not seeing Jesus right there too. Are you taking all your eye off of that? Eh? Don't take all your eye off of that. He right there too if all you don't do. All you see red moon, and all you don't know what coming behind that. And since all you know the red moon, all you know what coming behind the red moon. Understand? We don't know how close and we don't know how far yet it still is. But he right there. He right there. All you don't forget about that. Don't lose focus. And I believe in going out and protest. I can't come today because I am an old woman and I have knee problems and I cannot come down there to do all our walking. But I with all you in prayer and in spirit. I'm in prayer and in spirit with all you, right? So if all you do the right thing, go out there and protest. That is why we only keep all you back from in the first place because you know the voice of the people are the voice of God. And when all you go out there and your voice be heard, he had to step aside. But no, he tried to keep all you down by doing that because you understand what God say. All you always want to run from what God say and all you want to uphold what man say. All you always want to uphold man law and what God law, all you don't uphold that. You understand? So please, I'm telling all you. Please, I hear some people from Tobago call and tell us yesterday already. PNM had no place here, and they're just waiting for the election.
All right, thank you very much. Next caller, pleasant good morning to you.
Morning, nobody here.
Go ahead, nobody.
So this Stuart Young thing has happened, and we need to recognize what that was. What that was is the board of directors, the parliament, chose a new CEO without your say-so, you being the shareholder. That's what just happened. And that wasn't done illegally. That was done constitutionally. The Constitution allows for it. Section 76, 1D. Right? Read it and read. You can interpret how you want, but 1D is clear that if the president feels that there's a disputed leader in the leading party in the parliament, he can choose a prime minister based on support in the parliament. Right? So the Constitution is the problem. It's just one more example of it. Right? The other problem with our Constitution and our politics in general is it's so heavily weighted towards elections and winning elections but is extremely poor at governance or management, because the people who it's supposed to be managing for have absolutely no say. You have no say, okay? Not only in this case with the Stuart Young thing, but in a myriad of other situations where the Prime Minister has and can do what he wants. The best we can hope for is that the person who becomes Prime Minister in this country has some scruples. And as we've seen over the last 10 years, they don't have to get that. And even if you get one, that person is not mortal. It was not immortal. They are mortal. They will go their way eventually. So what do you need to do? What do we need to do to ensure better management of the country? You need to have a better system. We cannot rely on good people to run a bad system. We need a good system that will ensure that good people are there. And my humble opinion for a while now is we need to get better representation in the parliament. So you see what happened there, Stuart Young? That would have been happening with more of your say, right? And I am not convinced that this coming election is going to be a clean sweep for the UNC or the coalition. At times like this, historically in Trinidad, when the PNM is clearly in danger of losing the election, their base comes out. Their base rises up, right? And they vote on the normal politics of Trinidad and Tobago, that is of love and hate. I love my party, I hate their party, right? And what is going to happen in this election coming up here is, for the most part, the PNM and UNC bases are going to equalize each other. That's what I think is going to happen. What will win it, at least for the sake of the UNC, what can win it for the coalition is to capture votes that normally would never come out. Voters that would normally never come out. Those voters have always existed at about 130,000 people. They manifested themselves the last time as the COP. And those people are always looking for better systems of government. They're neither PNM nor UNC. They're disgruntled because they find this system just does not represent them. So in this coming cycle, for the UNC to stand a better chance of winning, you need to include in your campaign, talk about fixing our constitution that's causing this crisis right now, that's causing Stuart Young. And do not for one second believe, you all out there in closing, that as it stands now, you mentioned it there just now, Andy. Do not believe for 1 second that this election, as well as all the others in the past, are not decided by money. Okay? What decided Stuart Young was money, right? The shareholders of the PNM, the people who were funding the PNM, a certain faction that I firmly believe are backed by the Chinese Communist Party, have won out. And that's why they say, look, we want our guy in. Get the old guy out. He represents a different faction. Right? Money decides that. Money decides elections. Our system as well. Because
absolutely correct. And people have to get that in their head. Money wins elections.
Right. So what we have to do is create a system to exclude money from our politics. Because if our system is not geared to representing you out there, the individual Trinidadians, it's going to be captured by a small group of people who can buy their way in. And that's what has always happened. We call it 1%, but even the 1% have been pushed out recently. But my point is, unless you fix that, you see, politicians are like this. They're creatures that take instruction. They either take instruction from us, or they will take instruction from financiers, backers. They need backing. The backing is either a base or financiers. That's just the reality. So you need to create a system that a larger number of people are represented in the parliament and in our politics and in our government. If you don't do that, guaranteed without doubt, somebody is going to inject money to get their representation inside of the parliament. That's what a general election is. And the fact that, look what happened over the last 10 years. We changed presidents twice. The reason why we changed presidents twice is because presidents are in charge of these things called commissions, including Elections and Boundaries Commission. Is there interference going on there? It looks that way. We don't know for a fact, but the fact here with presidents twice, when you, at best, you once, did that interfere with this Stuart Young thing? If that did interference for the Stuart Young thing, was that interference for the police commissioner thing? Or for all of the above? Why? Because the prime minister can, without any challenge, this is president, and then use that vehicle, use all the arms of state under the president to get me. You have to fix that. You have to talk that on your election campaign. How are you going to fix that? To get the voters who will not vote in general election, get them out and say, yes, we want this. I guarantee you they are there. You just have to talk the things that they want to hear. At the end of the day.
Thank you very much, caller. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What do you all gentlemen have first while we are?
You know, I want to take up on what the last caller espoused. And, you know, it is all well and good. In other words, I categorize what he has said is you juxtapose practicality with hypothetical scenarios, because of course one of the ways of let's say addressing the whole question of the whole question of having a new system, and of course as opposed to the present system, is that he will have to explain why it is that 1986 occurred. Based on what he has said, 1986 ought not to have occurred. So he would have to, of course, explain that, whether it is an anomaly or is maybe a fleeting moment in the history of our evolving political experience. But then again, he will have to go back to 2010 as well as to what transpired there. Most of the hypothetical part, which is of course a new system, etc., can only happen when a political party that is so sensitive and is so inclined, having gotten power, and of course with the majority that is required, the built-in majority that the Constitution requires for changing the Constitution. And of course, is only in those circumstances. So I categorize that part of it as to the hypothetical, what should be, what ought to be, etc. But I will not pursue a campaign on saying, well, listen, constitutional reform per se. No, people are more concerned with bread and butter issue. What are the issues that would, of course, address us? And within the present system, there is sufficient, what I consider to be flexibility and opportunity for addressing these issues, because the performance of this administration, whether it be under this fella to be, talking about the Chinese man or Rowley, it is about a situation where they have made poor choices, and because of an intent to, of course, hoodwink the population and deprive them of the, let me put it this way, of the equalization of the distribution of the resources of the country. That is how I see it, and therefore there are those who deliberately got more than their fair share, including, of course, members of the cabinet and the government itself. And in such circumstance, with limited resources, deprive those who don't want as much, but never even got it. Even though, of course, it would have been available if there was prioritization and an equitable concept of course, distributing the resources of the country. That is how I would prefer to look at that situation. But I will not, for one moment, emphasize on constitutional reform as a major plank of your platform, because the fact of the matter is that people can live better, eat better, and survive better in the present system. It's just that those who are in charge are so selfish, are so greedy, are so wicked that they, of course, would generate a system or policies and programs that will benefit them and not the wider population in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you hit a very important point there. Just to remind the good folks that today, Tuesday, March 18th, is a very historic day. It marks the 50th anniversary of Bloody Tuesday. For those of you who are involved in the labor movement would remember the oil workers led by George Weeks and the sugar workers led by Basdio Pandey when they got together to march into Port of Spain. And back then you had a police that was led by Ramada and started beating people. So that's why it's referred to as Bloody Tuesday. It's 50 years ago. Let me say good morning to our good friend, Brother Clive Nunez, and folks who came through that movement would understand just how important a day like today means as part of the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And it tells you something. We're coming on the day after what transpired with the change, the reshuffling in the cabinet, and of course, having a prime minister select rather than elect, that the power of the people, for some reason, is lost in all of this. And nobody made a very valid point. I mean, the CEO was changed with no input from the shareholders or stakeholders, as we call you. But was it illegal? Well, apparently it wasn't. It all depends on how you interpret the law. But Lennox is correct. The fact that there's so much mismanagement and so many people at the top who are led, driven, and engineered by greed is why we find ourselves in this current situation today. And there are things that we really and truly need to dive deep into. I don't know if it's a matter of fear, a matter of not confronting the truth. And sometimes when you do that, people will try to criticize you for it and ridicule you for it. And so some people say, listen, I'm not going to venture into that. But there are things that we are going to have to look at and to face at some point in time. At this point, conveniently, we may look the other way. But as Andy said, we have a country to save, and that's where the focus and priority lies at this time.
Go ahead, caller.
First, I want to say congratulations as well to the labor movement for, of course, that period. I thought that they have made it significant, and I think it is as they liberated, of course, the whole question of people representation as far as the labor movement is concerned, and have, as a consequence of that incident, the evolution thereof, and of course a number of other pieces of legislation that would have been put in place for the benefit of the workers. So congratulations, of course, is in place for those who are commemorating this most significant day.
Good morning.
Go ahead, caller. We have a caller.
Yeah. Good morning, Lennox and
Mr.
Mickie K. And Andy. Good morning. Let me take the baton from Mickie K. There's another, I wouldn't say auspicious day, but a day in our history on Sunday. And that is the 10th anniversary of the beginning of the collapse of the TTPS. That is the day of policing 10 years ago. From that day, you see a rapid decline on the police through the appointment of executive. But what I call for is really to reflect on an appointment as the new Minister of Finance. Who is the new Minister of Finance? A fella by the name of Dan Paul. Dan Paul came from where? He was parachuted, catapulted from London. So he was the High Commissioner of London. And when you're in that cushy job, you interface with the government officials at cocktail party eating lamb, jam, and wine. And they whisper to you things that could potentially, off the record, could happen to your country. So what he was doing up there, spending a holiday, but was he getting information that we're going to take away earlier visa access? And did he get that information? Did he pass it back to Pastor Bong and Fitzy, the man riding on a horse? I want to know, because if he reacted so flagrantly unpatriotic and he didn't let them know, how come can we trust him in the Ministry of Finance? Are he covering up again when in the new ministry for the government against the Auditor General 2023 and the potentially 2024? And Mr. Dan Paul, you have to come out and tell us if you were aware whilst you were up there drinking lamb, jam, having champagne, if they whispered to you that we going to pull all your visa protocol. I'm going up next morning.
Thank you very much, caller. Next caller, morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Mickie, Andy, Lennox, newbie.
Hey, what's up?
And I see Andy as a Western only boy. A great listener is a great learner. And is nobody? Nobody? People like you, I will call a gong analyst, a political analyst, everything in one. What is UNC doing about those who say they're not voting? Why is we studying Stuart Young? The UNC are big time senior councils, the PNM are the same. Some may be more intelligent than some. So I think they made any move, or they make a move in a right timing, that nobody they want to be taken to court. If they want to be challenged, they want to be challenged. Some of us should have been by the president, outside the president, resident yesterday. Some of us cannot make it. Some of us are the ones that excuse. I went in the hospital. I watched the crowd from in the hospital. And a hospital bed watching the crowd. A handful of people. A handful of people. What kind of message we send to the PNM? The PNM don't care about all you. The PNM don't care about none of we saying. Watching other countries, what others do. Only the lady, my heart goes out to the woman, the woman heart goes out to all you. The woman had to cry. And they only know we had to protest. And we don't come on a jokey protesting. Some go get locked up. Some go be incarcerated. Some go be in hospital. Vice versa. Vice versa. Some police might be in hospital too as well. But we don't like to stand up. In real few times, we laugh. Maybe the gun are caused by public utilities. The only person remain are fully done there is you Hines. I mean Fitzgerald Hines are talking about. I don't think you have about 2-3 Fitzgerald Hines. The one the former Minister of National Security, that dunce, that political cocaine smoker, that political piper. Anyway, let's say good morning to Miss Williams, Sherwin Williams, mommy. Yeah, me and Nicholas had dropped her home yesterday from the restaurant. Yeah, and she explained me a lot about you, Kiki. When they drop you off from Tobago after you interfere with the little school child, and they drop you in Mova Junction, a lot of Olians may know. And you're a sick man, boy, but you get you only. You went Mova. When it's alleged, you try to interfere with your niece and all, and they be telling when you're out of Mova. You have a bad record. You and I should be living in the same planning, in the same building. Well, you're a political raper, man. When I live rape in the country, the citizens, the taxpayers, all the politically raping the young ladies of this nation, gyrating politically on them. And it's sad. We coming to cry. Anderson Wilson, and I want to compliment Michelle John, powerful speech last night. And the crowd, to me, that crowd we saw there last night, I don't think anybody get paid to come in. Because I don't up a job back down the road. I don't think anybody get paid to go to the to go by the Basel Secondary School. I think no one will pay. That my thinking I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but they had a massive turnout. Better than I will say to all them big buses going with first, that out there last time was massive. And I want to compliment Ms. Gillinger again and as the honorable leader came in, she started to bat. She didn't play down no ball. She didn't play no ball for the 2 all was 6 and 4. And we have our people working. But we're not working on the ground, Kamala. We're not working on the ground, the opposition MPs. Why? You all forget certain areas. Why? The youth and them, they don't like Rowley. They say they ain't voting for no Chinese man. Yeah, the same conductor saying that the girls are honest. And the pay hasn't raised since 2013. And ain't voting for nobody. What we doing about what nobody said just now? About those people who are saying, we ain't voting. We need them. We need to get somebody. We need to get the initiative to make them come out and vote. This election, and I walk back and feel alone. Nobody has the TV back as yet. And as he like, and nobody said again. Was a great listener and a great man, I know. As nobody said, we walking back, and I told you all, Chinese are better lost, you know. Chinese are better lost. Everybody go put $1. You notice all them Chinese little boot and them playing the playway, they're not being taxed. And whoever the head or whoever they shake in those police stations, probably they get in the envelope because it continues. When the little poor man say he playing a little playway, he getting buzzed down. But the Chinese getting buzzed down. The Chinese are playing close police. Why people snatching? Why playing them children snatching them while people chain and running through town? Them plainclothes officers with big gun in the waist, big firearm, watching the Chinese man back. When the car get no money from the Chinese, it's the next set of police going into the Chinese and taxing them. Locked down, closed down. They're coming out with bags. Next day you see the Chinese man. I need a better lose. So we have to know what we're doing with this election. But again, put that in the back of their head. Shorty men they just so. And only be real, as Trinidadian, as Black African, as Caribbean men. Anyone only get a kakada. Right? It take a real true patriotic soul there who concerned about the children and lot only concerned about children to turn down that. Rowley was handed, is alleged, so much of money to sell Trinidad. Rowley sold Trinidad and Tobago and we do nothing to come in on the radio to say, that was wrong, you know, and this was wrong. Let me forget that. Let me look at the way forward. And the way forward is to get the masses to come out and vote and for all of us to throw an eye on this election. When I say I try, we got to follow our ballot and we only follow it. We have to do something different, Kamala. We just got to sit down to the Monday night meeting and say, yeah, we for the Chinese before I leave, the Chinese don't better lose. And all this stuff be crying. But someone needs to get money. Someone only getting money now. Only how much years only work with PNM. I can recall any years working with any PNM. Hey, that'll be 20 years. Eh? Oh, but only come now crying. Same thing with you went to 1 minute is a COP. 1 minute you're fighting to shake Rowley and Rowley to pull away your hand from here. 1 minute they talk about who Andy and Mickie didn't get money, who Lennox get money, who this one. That all who get that ready. I will never get still remain patriotic and stable towards my party, the UNC. We come here now ready to cry. So it's only time too late for that dread. All the time you release, all the shit I put away. Right? I'm not sitting crying for nothing. I'm not sitting telling no money, all no drilling, they want no gas to come up there, and he want no gas to go back down. I find it a bit shit out the hospital. Right? So someone else can be crying, all ungrateful. All the ungrateful, cruel people. All the get ready. Or someone else to get 10, 7,000 just to call the radio. And the sinners call the radio on your own. Hot chat, man.
Next caller, morning caller.
Morning. I called in to say, right, Tobagonians so smart. When 2010, UNC with Ashford Jack, the Tobagonians didn't have no alternative but to vote PNM all the time. But when Ashford Jack came in, they vote UNC with Ashford Jack, right? Then they went back to PNM because of no alternatives. But soon as when Farley and Duke come on the scene, the vote in Farley and Duke. is because the smart, you see, before they didn't have no alternative party. But because of these alternative party coming in Tobago, the smart, because they don't like Rowley, they know the kind of man he is, and they vote him out from Tobago. Why Trinidadians need to use the sense? They need to use the sense. The PNM Trinidadians, they need. That is why Rowley does always say Trinidadians stupid enough. And listen, Stuart Young and Rowley and them, they I don't know what sense they have, because you going to make a deal with Maduro. We just trade and do a lot of things with America. America and Venezuela are not friends, and you are going to make deals with Venezuela. I mean, the logic in that, it wouldn't work. The logic in that alone, for big men who are supposed to have education, but they have no common sense at all, you know. And you see these ballot boxes, they have to follow them. When you see it's election, they have to follow the cards with the ballot boxes. People have to follow all them cards with the ballot boxes, because they could tell them outside.
Oh boy. Morning, caller.
You know about the help we? You understand? This man is a dictator, boy. We need some help. This man elected a whole new government. A whole new government, you know. Although what could we do, boy? Even though UNC win the election, this man going and say they win the last election, this people got PNM lost. The whole map of Trinidad was yellow. And just so this little dot of red in the middle, and they say that they win. This one they intend to do the same thing to steal the election. You understand? That is why he resigned as political leader, because he tell himself they could win and he will become the next president. That is what he playing for. This man is a wicked, nasty, evil man, boy. I hope he really live to spend all that money where he making there right now, you know. I hope that this man could live to spend that money where he's keeping from this country, you know. All they put a picture around it, just watch him go. All he's missing is 2 horns in the head, and he's a complete devil, you know. That man, you understand? They lost the last election. Yes. They come and they say they win, they can't win that. They're doing the same thing now to we. We need some international help, boy, Lennox, boy, because this month we have to get people to make sure the election goes smooth. If there's any election, you only see the man don't elect a new government already, or what? The whole new government, the man election we there. Well, come on, man. We had to do something seriously, boy. All they really working on, boy. All the try and think about what we could do now, boy. To help this country, boy. These children go suffer. These people go back for another 5 years, boy. They're going to keep this election and all. Be careful. This man heading to be a Mudo. Watch him very, very, very closely, all. All right, go have a blessed morning.
Thank you very much. Oh boy. So much of people calling. Go ahead, call.
Good day, Andy. Lennox, Mickie. Time to concentrate. Yeah, good day. It's time to concentrate the efforts on the ground. I see UNC launch policies. Let me hear the policies, Mickie, Andy, and Lennox. Tell me about the policies. The removal of the VAT on food items, the online tax removal, the 7%, right? All these different things with healthcare, the banking fees, all these people have to know about these things, that the draconian things that happening to people here, that they're going to be removed. Get the message out so that the people can know what's going on. As soon as, listen, people should be voting on policies, not on race, not on rhetoric, not on foolish talk. Base your vote on policies. For the last 10 years, what the PNM give all their taxation. This entity called the PNM, with the amalgam interest that they have, they're trying to put money back into the poor people's pocket. That is what they're trying to do. The PNM coming to take money from your pocket because they're coming back with the property tax and also the higher utility rate. But the UNC already said they're going to squash all of that. We need to hear the policies more so that the people will hear it and understand and vote for policies, not for stupidness, not for the foolishness that Stuart Young and the party misfits coming here with. We don't need that. We need policy, right? Vote on policy. Have a good day, gentlemen.
All right, thank you very much. Oh boy, next caller. Ah boy. Oh, everybody get frightened. Oh, everybody. Since it's your turn, thing that all everybody talking, right? Them ain't talking about winning the seats and them. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Yes, Silver Fox here. Now, I wasn't ready to come. I wasn't coming on this morning. But I list Mikey, my brother. How you going, man?
Yeah, all right, brother. Yeah, man.
Yes, man. I wasn't coming on this morning. But you know the reason I come on? I don't understand Trinidadians at all, you know. I don't know what all you want. All you suffering. All you lose all the job. One set of places closed down. Set of murders. And all you want is still asking about food stuff. What come out for food stuff? Eh? When all we should be thinking about going out in the streets and political getting these people out once and for all. Eh? All you asking these sort of stupid questions. Just imagine the next one. He was something because he did for 9 years. Eh? What all you want? Eh? What all you really want in Trinidad? All you have to be like to be going all you have to bind together. All you have to come together. All you have to have one unity. Yeah? But every time you hear the next one calling, it's something for he. Something for he. Something for she. What is wrong with all your head, boy? Trinidadians, what is wrong with all your head? Stand up with Kamala, vote for Kamala. What next all you could vote for? Eh? Already talked about talking with this stupidness he did yesterday. That is nonsense. Nonsensical topic right now. The main focus, let us focus. Let us come together and vote out the PNM. The PNM is not strong as there was. The PNM is not strong as there was. The PNM bridge fall down. Right? And they're trying for survival all out. Black people, oh God, black people, let's stop the fussing and fighting with each other, no man. Stop the fussing and fighting with each other and think, no man. Think, no man. Think for your children, grandchildren, and children to come. It's them we have to save right now. We have to stand up and save these people. Eh? I listened to the program this morning and everybody coming on. What they want, what they didn't get, who get this, who get that, to hell with what already get, and who hell with all they get. All you too deceitful, because some get and still pretending they get, right? And they know who they are. I will explain who they are right now. But I am not a fool, right? All you we're standing together. We're supposed to be studying about how we're going to come out to the streets to deal with this situation we're in right now. We're in a mess. We're in a mess. We are now, we head from we foot right now. Trinidad and Tobago just on a boat sailing. They don't know what shore, where we going to land. Let me change that. Come together. Stop fighting one another. Stop talking foolishness about what and you want to know about food prices. That has nothing to do with what's going on now. We want PNM out of office. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Next caller. Oh boy. The talk just caught up in the... They say it's a new government. I saying it's the same baka jokers. Eh? They just shuffle it. Eh? And but go ahead. That is all they talk. Time tomorrow, still go way out. Morning caller.
Good morning, Daddy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Mikey. Good morning.
I want to find out the missing money, the $3.4 billion that is missing. Who is going to be responsible now? Is as much as they move Imbert as Minister of Finance and they put somebody else. Who is responsible for that money? Is Imbert still responsible or the new finance minister? You know? And another thing is that
the new finance minister will be the finance minister.
Yeah, but he wasn't there when the money went missing.
In public utilities, we like to sell water on them.
Yeah, I do. But who will be responsible for the missing money? You see? Imbert was the Minister of Finance when that money went missing. And I think they should hold him responsible until the end. You see? So that's a question that people have to ask. And people have to know that who is going to be responsible for the $3.4 billion that went missing. You know, and Rowley gone. Rowley's smart. He gone because he take off in front before in front take him. Another thing is why Rowley don't step down as leader of the party. You know? Stoughton is not leader of the party. According to the Constitution, as the leader of the party, they select you as the Prime Minister with the majority in the House. Stoughton was no leader of no party, and they elect him as Prime Minister. You know? Why don't they call election? Why Stoughton don't call election now? And people have to get rid of the government because you'll notice after 1 month, when Stoughton is there, that the trade that is going to go down the road. Understand? There's nothing new coming in. You know? So people all they get up, all they open up our eyes, and all they get the PNM out of that government. You see? What? They put Camille as Attorney General. What she knows about Attorney General? Huh? She just put that I want big before they put the to occupy a big space. Is it? Anyhow, and you take care. But I have that burning question about who is going to be responsible for the money now. The missing money.
Morning, caller.
Morning, gentlemen, again. Calling from the bar, Paul here again. Gentlemen, I don't know what is wrong with me in this country, but we talking about, we want to hear about the policies and things. In the PNM rally, the media interviewed a woman, a PNM supporter. You could see despair, you could see pain, you could see hardship, you could see depression. And when they ask she what it is she wants and what it is PNM do for the last 10 years, she said they do nothing for she. They fix the road bad. In a nutshell, she say nothing. It's pressure. And you know what she eventually say? Well, wherever they had, I had a vote for them. So that alone tell you that policy and wherever you could tell these people that they don't care. They don't care how the last 10 years of their lives was. They don't care. All them cares about the tribe, and once the tribe say, here what? You have to vote for me, you have to vote for me. No matter if it's stone or grass after, you have to vote for the party. That is the line you have to follow. Otherwise, you could be in the laws and you will suffer. God will punish you. That is the, when you see you're mentally deranged, that you think. You understand? So coming out and talking about a million policy and what we're going to do and what we're going to cut and things, that is going to make no difference to the supporters of the PNM. The right-thinking people who want betterment for themselves and their family and things are the ones who have to make it their business. And let me tell you, I could tell you for a fact that a lot of people in this country, no matter who in government, it don't really affect them in a way so their livelihood and their lifestyle. One or two of them might get kidnapped, they might fall victim to crime and things, but they pick up and they move on and they continue living no matter who is in government. The real people in the country, which is the majority of the population, is the ones that have to get up every morning and make a life for themselves by going to work every day, making sure that all the finances they have, they're budgeted properly, make sure that they could provide for their family and their children and things. And every single thing that happens with our government would affect these people. If they have an old car and the car, they're running their vehicle on the road, the increase of fuel price would affect them. The bad roads would affect the maintenance of the vehicle. If they have a family of 5 or 6 and their budget for their food is $1,000 for the week, if $1 increase in any product, it would affect them. And these are the people who just want change in the country. The Sawatis, the knife and fork and them, who raking in $50,000, $60,000 and just travel 5, 6 times a week and all these kind of things. Government, that don't affect them. Then they just adjust the suit. So, like the lady who said they never do nothing for me, she in so much of depression that she cannot think for herself. The rest of the population that sees things and affects you, tell me how your life has been affected for the last 10 years. Tell me how your budget has been affected for the last 10 years. Tell me how much adjustment you had to make without having to make. You had to do like install camera and put up fence and buy dog and this and all kind of thing to protect your own self. Just consider all these simple little things and tell me if you want to continue the direction you're going down the road with a government like this. Do you have a promise for next year? Do you have anything in guarantee for the next 5 years that this government could give you? We're waiting for Dragon Gas for the last 10 years. They say 2027. And now that the change in America, it looks like that's over. Then we've seen other promises they come in to try to make for all you now. All you had to be dotish. Like I always say, if the people who just think and support the PNM could bottle the things that they just be promising you and sell it, you'll be a billionaire. Or what they're smoking, no local hard weed in the country or the world ain't better than that. For let us continue taking that and that dotations from this government and still decide that all vote in PNM. Something has to be wrong with all. Have a good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, caller.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Mikey, Trinidad and Tobago. As a matter of fact, the whole world. This program is widely listened to. Andy, I am compelled to call in this morning when I hear people like Kingsley and them fellas. Kingsley, what you trying to do, that is corruption. That is corruption. That is our food business, we done with that. This is what we're trying to get away from, Zulia. You hear? All right. Well, but I don't know, the reason why I call is that I am not a person who looks for the problems. I do try to look for solutions to the problem. And one of the things I see, and it's something that could push the party a whole lot faster, concentrate on the achievements that you had in the 5 years that you was in office. Every meeting, every habit should have a prompter showing your achievements one by one, what you had done over that 5-year period, as opposed to 10 years. And one of the things, in 3 and less than a half years, the government before had completed almost 3/4 of that highway from San Fernando to Point Fortin. And these people had almost 10 years and the highway is still far from completion. Far from completion. So I would like the UNC to keep pushing, because I mean the average man could differentiate good from bad. And all you had to do is to keep pushing what you had done over that past the 5 years that you had in office. That would be like 25% of your way to government. That is the road to take. Just show up your achievements over that period of time. Okay, Andy, well, that is my say.
All right, thank you. Next caller, morning.
Morning, Andy, Lennox, Mikey. Uncle Lennox, then I would like to ask the new Prime Minister that we want foreign observers for the 2025 general election this year, because he is the Prime Minister and we want foreign observers. What about the observers for the election? So this is my take and what I will be clamoring for, because we have a new this is the Prime Minister in charge, and when they will call the date, because if you're keeping with the date, we only have 2 more months again. So when they will call the date by Stuarty, come now, man, we want to do like Maduro and roll over and then say, convene Parliament and right back there, they will vote for you to say that you extend the life of the Parliament. Come now, people, we have plenty of things to talk about. But Andy, tomorrow morning I'll call you early so I can take a longer time to talk to you and tell the people what I have to tell them. Have a nice day, fellas.
All right, thank you. Next caller. Oh boy, oh boy. Go ahead, caller, morning. Go ahead, caller, morning. Yeah, caller, morning. Morning. Oh boy, what time it is? Oh, 2 minutes. Let me take one.
It was about 3 minutes. About 3 minutes.
All right, morning, caller.
Hello, morning.
Morning.
Morning, Andy.
Hi, morning to you. And where you calling from?
Calling from Waterfield.
All right, Waterfield. Go ahead, make a contribution. Try to make it short and sweet.
I want to say something. I might sound racial or biased or where it is there, but I want to ask you something. We do have a bright Indian or a bright Negro to run this country. Thank you.
Yeah. We have a bright Negro. We have bright Negro, Indian, Chinese, everything we have bright here. There's a bright set of people that just might be dumb. Oh boy. All right, let me look to close up. Let me look to any other calls.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Real interesting. Nice. I will take just this one more. Morning, caller. Go ahead, caller. Morning. Hey. Morning, caller. Ah, boy. All right. That is it, Mikey.
All right, well, later on tonight, The Observer is on. Check it out. It's also streaming on Real Media.
You sound fed up. You sound fed up. You look fed up.
No. Well, you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. It's what they have to do. So, again, until tomorrow, like I said, later on tonight, The Observer. Check it out. Real Media TT, as well as Workers' Rights Platform. Also on Facebook, Tigo, and YouTube. So, folks, until then, be safe.
Lennox, any thing tonight?
Yes, of course. The corridor transformation will be, of course, YouTube, Facebook. But I must just say that I continue to be impressed with the contributions of the callers. While, of course, some may be considered to be not in sync with what is expected at this time, but what I'm clear about is that some may take a little more time, but they will get, of course, to that platform or that basis where, of course, we all are united in, of course, the common cause, because the common cause is, of course, the blight, the disappointment, the toxicity and the threat to our democracy, economy, and I'd like to go as far as to say civilization called Trinidad and Tobago. After all, we are being told that we are nearing, of course, a failed state, and that could only come and could have materialized within the last 10 years of this administration. Whether, of course, it is a change of hand by Chinese or otherwise is irrelevant. So we have a task, and that is to say to get the 39 seats in Trinidad. And of course, that could only come with, of course, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the UNC at the helm, with, of course, the coalition of interest groups or entities to accomplish this task.
Yes, yes. Well, only until tomorrow, please God. Right, so tomorrow now we will get, I hope now, the Stewart under, or I want to believe like Ole get a uppercut. Like Ole get a cocaine broom. It's like a truck run over all here. You could hear all here, and that's why it is Ole and all supposed to realize. My feedback and all today, I just jot back, is like, Ole making me feel like how Ole feeling. Beat down, like feel the cough, the pain, the pressure, the unbelief of the direction in this country. But the only fair thing is, you all had was to vent. And today, many of you was allowed to vent. Not so, Lennox Smith?
Yes, and be assured that evil could never prevail over good. Just read and ask about Hitler, Mussolini, and of course Gaddafi, and of course Saddam Hussein in Iraq, and of course our good friend in Venezuela, who is suffering all kinds of issues, largely because of the pain and gripe that has descended onto his people, to the extent where we ourselves have to accommodate over 100,000 of them thereabout. So evil could never prevail. It must come to an end.
And if for both of you are saying, Andy, all right, yeah, I'm all right. Mikey, all right, yeah, Mikey's all right. We just organize and, just listening to you all the day after the swearing in of the new Prime Minister and new Attorney General, new Finance Minister.
The intention is to beat people down and to frustrate them, but the act is questionable. It is immoral at best and illegal at worst. But that is the reality, but we have to continue in Trinidad and Tobago. So strive for a better place.
Nice. So Trinidad and Tobago, don't forget tonight, Corridor Transformation with yours truly, Lennox Smith. And don't forget at 7 o'clock, the Mighty K on the Observers, right here on the Real Media, TT, Facebook, YouTube, Corridor Transformation on the platform. So until tomorrow morning, please God, I hope you all kneel, pray, drink a coffee, eat a food, get up strong. Don't be beat down by the devilish PNM, or by the taxing, lying, thieving, piping, spranging government called the PNM. Until tomorrow, please go on behalf of the Ground Report team. Yours truly, the Pitbull of radio. We are out of here.
Trinidad and Tobago are stupid. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are stupid. And I have to listen to that foolishness.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.